Previously in the GodBreaking, our party of adventurers continued to establish themselves within Mistrala, or technically the city at the foot of the spire. Having finished up their recovery process, 5 days had gone by. Several of the party members went to the city of Westfane to talk to the king there and to Caliota Cecile, the magic vendor and enchantress. And they found quickly that they would be unable to return directly to Mistrala. The magical enchantments around the nation prevent any teleportation into the country. So through some creative work, Alberic, Feldorn, and Elwyn teleported to the outskirts of the nation, and with Renly's help, were able to mistwalk their way back to the spire, but not after speaking to Reginald Haas, King of Westfane. There they found that he had been sending scouts and had been using his mages to scry all around his land because of Caliota's warnings, but was unable to find anything. He had, however, at the advice of his generals and because he respected Caliota, put his city on alert and had his military forces at the ready just in case anything were to come up. Back in Mistrala, the rest of the party, Renly, Ashok, Euphemia, and Deimos, tried to influence the outcomes of the election of a new headmaster. Through some persuading and some grand speech making, they managed to convince the council to do away with the headmaster position and instead elect a triarch, a governing body of 3, to equally share the authority and the responsibility of ruling Mistrala. Those 3 people were... do I have the pictures here? I do have the pictures here. Wenlisa, instructor of alchemy. Battle Master Telephos, chief amongst the Magni, and druidic instructor Renly herself. It's a new system, so that's up to you guys to figure out how to make that work. And that is where we left off. Elwyn, Alberic, and Feldorn, you guys have just re-arrived back in Mistrala, and the council has just announced the results of the election. So you guys are currently within the council meeting room, basically, which was roughly drawn out to look like that. Seer Kotinin has just announced the final member of the Triad. And Renly, you are now part of one of the 3. Alright. What do you guys want to do?
I'm going to congratulate Renly by throwing some confetti around with one of my cantrips and making loud noises.
Very good. Very good.
Rennie looks blankly at you and Siakotin, and her eyes are very big, and she's like kind of frozen, and then she's like, "What?" and then like she snaps into it, and then she's like, I thank you for having faith in me, and this is very much an honor and a responsibility, oh God. But thank you for the election. Yes. I will try my best.
Sinan says, "Oh, Renly, you will do fine. Just try not to muck it up. Ho ho." Okay.
Right.
Another one of the council members announces This meeting of the council is hereby adjourned.
Wait!
What?
Many funny will will move forward and like kind of like stumble forward and I was planning on bringing something to your attention after the tree had been announced or after the headmaster had been announced, but before you'll all go on to other business, I did want to mention a point of concern that I just heard about from Ava and our new guests regarding things seen at the observation deck. And I do not think this is something we can just tell people, but people need to see it. And if we might need a few more people than just those in the council, so I I was not ready for this. But perhaps if my other two companions would agree to it, and I nod towards Teleforce and Renlisa, if we could send a summons to those of import in Mistrala, and if they could make their way to the spire, and if they can't, they can head to the border, and I can like wind walk them over. But tomorrow, so that if they know of anybody outside the lands of Mistrala who we can also look into, it might prove to be important to see what the heck is going on out there so we can decide what to do in here. But if y'all are okay with that.
Okay. The council, the council member who was about to announce the ending of the council meeting says, "That is, of course, your prerogative, Renly." He glances at Telephos and Wenlisa to see if they were in agreement. Telephos's his eyes just kind of flicker around, and Ava announces for him. Says, "Telephos is in agreement. He knows some of what she speaks, and and lends his voice to Renly's." Wenlisa says, "It seems that my voice will not matter. At the vote of 2 to 3, the Triarch has spoken." Okay. "We shall gather on the morrow, Renly."
I will nod.
Okay. The man says, "Now we are adjourned." Alright. Several instructors and different students come around you, Renly, and they all have demeanors of respect, befitting what they would have how they would have treated a headmaster. They're a little bit confused about how to address you all, particularly like short and round kind of a student with just like brown tweed robes and that kind of stuff. Says, "Well, Mistress, how might we address you? What would you care to be known by?"
Renly's good.
What title of an accolade should we call you by? Should we call you the Grand One? Should we call you, oh, she of great wisdom? Your grace, your worship, your lordship.
One word, Renly. Yes, leave it at that. Like one word says it all, right? Right? Yeah, let's do that.
Telephos is already walking out the door, and when Lisa is starting to make arrangements for her own laboratory that she's going to be moving to towards the top level of the Silver Spire.
When Lisa, I try to hail her down. Did you have any points of concern regarding the observation deck?
She says, "I care little for what goes on in the outside world. She says, I am focused upon the preserving of our secrets and our studies."
That is actually wonderful, and I'm very happy that you have been elected as one of us. Thank you so much.
She looks at you, she nods, she says, "Yes, of course, Renly. Come now." She talks to some of her students around her. She says, "We have much work to be done. The archives are in great disarray." And she
I will leave you to it then.
Okay. Alright. Do you guys want to do anything else? I guess it would take you a little while to catch up with each other about what's going on. What do you guys want to do?
So, Renly, you're the boss now, right?
I'm not sure. I think. I'm not quite sure where my purview will be. I'm more concerned about the outside threats right now than management of. I've never been good at management. I mean, the forest is definitely easier, but yes.
High five.
Oh! The hand is very short and it's very, very low for a high five.
Bend down and tap your hand with my finger.
Okay.
Question is, do I knock Renly over with my pat on the back in that strength roll?
It's just slightly above average for a pat on the back. I think you're okay.
My strength score as my strength.
Yes,
check.
I fall down.
Oh, she falls down.
We should just.
Oh.
We should just toss Renly back and forth and enjoy.
Won't go that far.
Drinks are on me. Did anyone interested in drinks?
Love drinks.
Let's go get some tea.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All
Did
right.
you have another opinion?
What was that?
I mean,
Was that cleric? What was that cleric's guy name?
Liam.
Liam.
When you said, "Is anyone interested in drinks?" I was about to say, "Does Liam pray?"
Very good. Very good.
So is Liam like the Pope of this world?
No. He's just the most pious,
Okay.
most pious man in the
Thanos
world.
become the Pope of the world. He'll
He's
become
like
the
in
greatest
Game
of
of-
all clerics.
In Game of Thrones, he's like the head sparrow.
Oh, okay.
I want to kill him now then.
Oh, wait. Now, I'm just going to ask this question because I know Euphemia or Feldor are going to ask this later. Since you're the boss now, does that mean that you can let those guys into the library?
You're always welcome into the library. Yes.
Okay. Take that, smug guy at the front desk.
Yes, it is open to everybody.
Yeah, you just have to write it down on a piece of paper and notarize it 5 times.
No, you do not need any permission to go in. You are free to go in and check out anything.
Yeah, but you have an asshole in charge.
Well, he likes my brownies, I think.
I don't think he likes it.
I am not sure how it works. If you mean like the ones in their special vault or special collection, you might now need 3 signatures rather than 1.
Can I have a signature so I can kill him?
Sure, yeah. Well, here's a signature for. Yeah, let me write it down. Can get 1 book, library special collection, and I sign a note saying you can get a book from the special collection, and I leave space for the other 2 signatures because I have a feeling you'll probably need all 3. And here you go.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure where Lisa might be, but her usual location, I draw you a small map of where her usual location is.
You should make a list for everybody, just in case. Who knows?
Oh, okay. I didn't think I'd be doing autographs so soon.
Oh, no, yeah, I don't know.
Here you go. I spent 5 minutes on the floor.
Alright, so about these drinks.
Well, if you were thinking of not tea, because yes, you did look somewhat disappointed by that. There is a pub near Siakotinen's place. We can all head over there.
Okay. And actually, as that happens, Damos pulls out from the bag of cooling a nice bottle of tequilas.
Okay. Very good.
While we're walking to wherever we're going, I'm gonna tell you guys about what's her name? Carlotta, or what's her name?
Keliota.
That she had a feeling that something bad's gonna happen in Haslin. We scryed for stuff, but we didn't find anything.
Damos is gonna wrap his noggin, and he's like, "Isn't there that country that's next to that gigantic dude's walking towards them. Giant red orc guy.
Are you telling them
Oh no,
about it?
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ellen. Yeah, we're telling you about this.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
are you here?
I saw it on. No, I wasn't there to see it on the thing, but I saw it on the
Okay.
video.
Okay.
So yeah, if you tell me about it, I'm gonna say, well, that sounds really close to where our stuff is, our castle in our town.
Yeah, they're gonna get bum rushed.
Yeah. Kind of don't want that to happen.
Yeah, that'd not be good.
Okay.
Tequila first, safe Haslin second.
What was
All right. So you guys are gonna drink or something the rest of the day? It's around. Well, the council meeting. The original council meeting was at noon. They deliberated for the most of the day, and so by this time it's pretty much in the evening time. You're thinking like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. What do y'all
I'm
want
gonna
to
go to
do?
the fucking library.
Okay.
I'm gonna sharpen my sword first.
Okay. So you're gonna check. You're gonna sharpen your sword first. You said.
Yeah, metaphysically, I'm joking.
Okay. All right. So you head over to the library. Oddly enough, you get there a few minutes before closing time. The library is open till around 8 o'clock at night because this is, after all, it's like a college town, so they have to keep it open for all the late night study sessions and last minute book checkouts and that kind of stuff. You get there and you see the librarian. Not quite as put together as the last time you saw him. He just looks there's something different about him as you approach. He doesn't quite see you yet.
Can I, get a better look at him to figure out what's different?
Yeah, he has some of his hair is out of place.
What, he has bed hair, is that what you're saying?
Well, it's just like normally he's completely immaculately groomed and everything's put together. Right now his collar is a little bit ruffled and his hair and some of his hair is out of place.
Can I sneak up behind him without him noticing me? And then with a really strong hand, just slap him on the back?
Sure. It's not terribly hard. Go ahead and roll stealth just for the hell of it.
Ugh.
Okay. So he is busy over a table, over a countertop with a bunch of papers and manuscripts all scattered all over the place. He's his hands are on there, and you see him. He's completely distracted, looking at the paperwork, flipping through a couple books and trying to reference a couple things.
Instead of hitting him, I just want to grab him hard and squeeze it really hard.
Grab where?
The shoulder.
Okay. All right. So you grab onto his shoulder. He goes, "Wah!" and he jumps up into the air. He looks around. You see him with a completely shocked and frightened look on his face as he turns around as he flips his head back around to see you.
I see you've made it back.
Yeah. A brief after the fright passes over his face, his eyes kind of they return back down, and there becomes more of a pleading look in his eye. And he says, "It is you! Oh, my lady," he says. I so apologize for the last time we met. He said, "Oh, please," and he turns, he straightens his hair, and he shuffles some papers around. He says, "Please," he says, "you were looking for a book, weren't you?" He says, but if I were to give you access to our private vaults and our library, do you think you could perhaps do a small favor for me?"
Depends.
Well, you see, the last time we met, I had the unfortunate circumstance to what was it? He says, you sent me somewhere, and he grabs a book, a really old dusty tome, and he flips it open. And he flips it over two, and he's flipping through pages frantically, rapidly, and he finds a spot on page. He says, "To the plain of insatiable virgins." He says, "Imagine my surprise when after curtly dismissing you, I was suddenly enraptured by beautiful and boundless women who were completely enthralled with me," he says. "These emotions flooded through my very soul that I've never felt before. And just as I was beginning to find my voice, this paradise was taken away from me and I returned here." He says, "Since then I've been studying these books trying to figure out where it was I went and how to return. And here you are, my savior."
Are you sure you weren't sent to the plane of stupid assholes?
He says, "Whatever it was you sent me, whatever you call it, please send me back."
Sure, give me the book that I'm looking for and I'll send you there right away.
He says, Of course. He says, that you're friends with Mistress Renly, correct?"
Yeah, and I have a note from her too.
No, of course, very good. He doesn't even look at it. He just takes it and he files it in the cabinet, and he says, "Right this way, please."
I'm
Alright.
like stabbing him so much.
As you're going, you guys are turning through through aisles and bookshelves, and for the next 5 or 6 minutes, as you guys are walking through this massive library, it's like a maze almost. You're having a hard time not getting lost. He's just absent-mindedly talking about how this one visionless creature that he saw, and the flow of her hair, and the glint of her eye, and the curve of her lip, as she was looking at him, and the eye contact that they had, and how it filled his soul, and he's talking about all these various things. He makes his way up to a shelf, and he says, and then I managed to get out the nerve, and I said, "Hello," and then I vanished. Oh, the shame of it! Oh, the loss! Oh, here we are. He pulls a book off of the shelf. He
So
said,
much disappointment.
"What?"
Nothing.
He pulls a book off the shelf and he holds it out to you. He says,
Is it the book I'm looking for?
"It is indeed."
Is it magically inclined or has it been used?
No, it's
Can I tell?
it's fully available. Yeah. He says, "This
Okay.
one just came into use. It's been 100 years, and," he looks, "4 days since the last time it was used. I'm happy to make it available to you." So
Okay, I'll stuff it in my bag.
he hands it to you, so I'm going to put it in
And then,
your inventory.
is he cursed or is there a way for you to tell about that or has he been seduced by something? Like evil demons or shit like that?
You can try to, roll an insight.
But I can't believe that way he thinks he saw him. I was wondering if that is what he saw.
He's hard to read.
Yeah.
You can tell someone who's very emotionally caught up in it. You think he believes everything he's telling you. Now he says,
Is there any like magical aura on him? Because I can see all magic.
"Okay, so you're using detect magic."
Yeah, my bill.
You catch residual traces of magic, just slowly fading away from him. It is... Jeez, what are the schools of magic? One second. Um, it's all from the school of, jeez, enchantment.
Like, oh, I guess I don't have any spells. My Do I know where Deimos is?
Deimos, where are you?
I think. Did you just split off when we were walking down the streets? I was walking with Renly.
They're headed to a
I
tea
don't
house,
know combinations
as I
of them.
recall.
Okay. Well, that's. I think I said I was going with Renly. We might, with the part where the party member gets together, we might try to hit the library, but
He's looking at you with a pleading look in his eyes. He says, "Please, please, my lady." He says, "Send me back. Send me back, please."
Fuck it, I'm just gonna banish him and leave. I was gonna help, but I don't give a fuck anymore. I'll come back later.
Okay.
Doesn't die.
All right. As you put your hands on him and cast a spell, you see a great, big, grateful smile cross his face, and he vanishes out of existence. Okay.
So I'm gonna be taking my time reading that book. How much time do I have to put into it?
You need to spend 48 hours reading it over the next week. So a lot of
48.
time. All right. So about 7 hours a day reading it, basically a full-time deal.
Okay, well, I'll start that now. But we'll, next time I see Deimos, I'm gonna tell him about that he's probably been cursed in some way, and he might need a greater restoration. That's if he lives through the night.
All right. The rest of you guys, let's see. So
I am trying to find the equivalent of a cheesecake factory in Mistral. Like food, tea, and drinks. Everything we would want.
And
Okay.
And
big
cheesecake.
menus of advertisements.
Yes.
Okay. You find a okay. You find a nice establishment. Let's see. That you know you've frequented fairly often. Who else with her? Deimos, you're there.
yep.
I would be with them.
Albrecht, you're here too, right?
Okay. How about you, Ashok? What are you doing? Ashok? Yeah.
I'm in the library, right, with everybody.
No, Euphemia went to the library. Deimos and the rest of them are going to Cheesecake Factory.
I think I'll pass on the cheesecake. Just stay here.
So the four of you go in. Renly, you walk in and you see a friendly rose bush. An awakened rose bush, basically.
How are you doing?
His name is Rosario. He says, "Oh, Lady Renly," he says, "it has
It's
been
just Randy, you know this.
yes." He blushes pink.
Oh my god!
He says, "Yes, I know." He says, "I see you brought your friends."
Indeed, we have come to celebrate and maybe have something stronger than tea, I think.
I have
I look towards my companions.
I have just recently heard the news. Yes, my best is at your disposal. We have the finest rose wine. Oh, oh.
Thank you.
Okay. So you guys make your way back. He happily serves you, and his the wait staff is there, drowning you guys in food and beverage. What else would you guys like to do?
I think we're just we have to wait till tomorrow to go get the rest of the party, right?
Well, you guys had all kind of broken off to your various places. I'm not sure where Feldorn would have gone. He's probably still recuperating. Last time you saw him, he wasn't looking so good. He went back to his
Okay.
room.
But there's still a couple people outside the city, right?
The country of Mistrala is lightly populated. The majority of the population is within this city, which is at the foot of the spire.
Oh, sorry, man. Our party members there's a couple that are still outside, right?
No, they've all made their way back by now.
Oh, okay.
I think we should go back to Hasselin in the morning as soon as we can.
I agree.
Save our peeps.
Yeah, we gotta save our peeps.
I missed what happened there. What exactly happened in Hasselin?
There's-
The big red guy.
yeah.
Oh no, she was windwalking at that time.
Oh, there's a big red dude. He's fucking huge. You haven't seen Quigley, have you? No, you haven't. Think of an orc, but like 100 times bigger. And he's like some primordial destroy crap dude.
So he is like Clovis in some ways. Very, very
I
dangerous.
think like more primal. I don't know. I think he was like their weapons for the gods, but not anymore.
Do you think we might need Teleforce or somebody else? Like, or do you just want to head over?
Well, we should head over first and see what's going on, see where they're going to attack first, and kind of get some info.
That would actually be brilliant. Like, I think I could actually transport you via tree directly there and then back if you wanted, and we could be back for the observation deck meeting so that you could tell people about it if it's relevant.
Okay. Well, when's the meeting? That's tomorrow, right?
Yes, I think we've scheduled it for after lunch, so in the afternoon, but I'm not sure about that. I would have to
Maybe
double
we should
check.
just go there after. We'll try to get there after lunch then.
Now that you're like in charge here, is there some talisman or any item that you guys can use so we can bypass the non-teleporting? That way we can just teleport there and teleport back?
I'm not sure.
So
Like,
Renly,
is it?
you'd have to go speak to the Keeper of Keys,
Okay.
and he can give access to basically, and traditionally it's only been withheld for the most powerful and highest ranking of the mages. The ability to come and go.
How would that usually be evaluated? Like by the headmaster, or are there tests, or what? How would that normally be provided?
Traditionally, the headmaster would decide who was on the list, basically the fly or no fly list.
Okay, and this would allow teleportation within Mistrala and communication inside with the key.
Correct.
And if we are gonna go there, we should probably at least try to stock up on some like goods or some random things we think we're gonna need, because there's that massive horde of just fuckery.
Oh
We might
yeah,
need some stuff.
yeah. We can like take some food that way if there's a siege.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. I think I got a little bit of money left. Let me see.
I got some. We might get stuff. I know I mentioned to the group that
I got
know
squat.
Euphemia went to that library, right? I said we can wait for her to come back and we can try to figure out a plan, or just pass out and figure it out in the morning.
This doesn't seem right. Okay, I put an extra 6. Yeah, I have 2,466 platinum pieces. I'm like, no. Yeah, extra 6. So yeah, 246. I think that's enough to get some food, and I still got 13,000 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do make a few phone calls via Windspeak to druids around the lands to see if they could actually make their way to the border in case there are people who get summoned who cannot make it in to down, like if they don't have key access, like, you know, general people of note who were invited but couldn't actually get in directly into the spire. So I'll message some druids, and if they come by the border in the morning, I will have them just windwalk people in so they can make the meeting.
Okay. So you're gonna have the druids windwalk people in?
Yes, like other druids, druids across land.
Okay.
Like this is a very important moment, and I just wind speak them. If they can make it, great. If they cannot, then yeah. But
Okay.
I would appreciate it.
So you're familiar with several of the higher profile druidic clan leaders throughout the land. You send out the windspeak messages. A couple of them, there's basically 3 of them throughout the land. Several are very far. A couple of them are very far away. And you send out the windspeak messages, and you assign your students, some of your more capable students, to do the wind walking back and forth from the border for whoever
That's
comes.
perfect. And
Okay.
yes, especially, I do think that it would be important for them to be there to see what happens on the observation deck. So yeah, okay, that's about it for prep.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything?
No. I was just gonna
That's a
pass
really my
out,
book.
try to get some stuff for the siege or whatever we're gonna do, and yeah,
Yeah, I'll go with Deimos to
get
get
swole.
to prep like all the stuff that we're gonna take. And are you gonna get me that thing to bypass the teleportation, or do you want me to go talk to someone?
Do we need people to go there directly, or can Renee actually go in herself and get the keys? Like, do they need to be keyed to the individual?
The key master, the keeper of the keys, would need to know who is traveling. He just basically needs to record their identity. So he needs to actually physically examine them, so he can
Makes
identify
sense.
their personal aura and make sure that they are able to go through. So everyone who wants that access and that ability needs to go visit him.
Probably first thing in the morning, then when he is, as soon as he goes in, then okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Ashok, you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'll go with Deimos to prep.
Okay. All right. So you guys are going to spend the rest of the evening after you drink a little bit to try to prep and gather reserve. So what are you guys gathering specifically?
Pretty much just like a bunch of food. I was thinking.
Okay.
It's not possible to get another like war wagon. It's a magic place. Can we get like a flying war wagon?
Yes. Sure.
All right, sweet.
You have a walking castle that you've never used.
Oh yeah. Well, that's my castle. That's all of our castle. Actually, I think Feldorn has the button right now.
Point is, that's better than the wagon.
Yeah, but we can stick a flying wagon inside of it. We're just adding accessories to our castle.
So you make your way to some of the artisan crafters and basically the shop class, basically the shop class instructors, and they are able to craft and do things with physical materials that that you don't really, you haven't seen the likeness of it most other places in the world, manipulating the elements and through means of the fabrication spells and modified versions of that spell. So you give them an explanation of what you want in a wagon, and you say you want it to fly. They start chuckling a little bit, and then they start sketching down some ideas on how to make that happen, and they tell you that they'll work on it for they'll get all their students working on it.
Not to try to like power game or try to make my guy super OP or anything like that, but after seeing the random stuff we're going at, did any of us else want to go to the library? See maybe if there's another book or anything?
Yeah. Go check it out.
I mean, I got this brand new super belt that I don't need no book for, so.
Yeah.
Probably closed and there's no librarian. I'm not there, so.
Yes, this is kind of like.
Well, I mean, there'd be no one to close it, so it should be open.
Euphemia did just banish the librarian.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We can get there.
Yeah, but he's only going to be gone for a minute.
Uh-huh.
What's the point if he comes back? That's a difference.
Are you guys going back to the library?
I mean,
We can
if
try to search.
Yeah, we might as well try.
Okay. All right. So later into the night, after you guys have done all this stuff, you've gone to the fabricating and stuff. It's now late at night. You know, it's like 11 p.m. You guys make your way back to the library. It is oddly still open.
Oh my god. Oh god.
So you walk into this massive building. There's no one else there. All the students know that the library closing hours, what the hours are, so no one is there. But the place has not been locked up.
All right. We're gonna, I guess, go up to the desk and ring it. And if no one answers, we're gonna help ourselves, I guess. I guess I'll stick down the Renly's note and stuff like that because I
Okay.
don't want to steal.
All right.
We'll leave an IOU, like in
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yep, pretty much. I'm very charismatic. I draw a picture of me and Elvin, give a thumbs ups, and we'll try to find some crap.
Dude, I suck at investigation.
Dude, so do I. But like, there's got to be like this is the secret vault area.
Perhaps
There can't be
Euphemia's
too
still
many
in
books
there
in there.
reading the book.
Perception check. Euphemia, where are you? Did you go back to your room, or what did you do?
No, I'm in my room, which is in my mansion.
You go up and you ring the bell. Deimos, who's there with you?
I know
Me.
that one is Albrecht or Renly or Ashok or anyone else want to come to.
Sure, I would have just joined while, like, when messaging stuff, and yeah.
Hey,
Um,
Renly, where's the
nice.
where's
I'll
the
be in
cool
my
where's,
room
where's the
sleeping.
good thing?
Because I don't need a book.
Nah, where's
I'll
the
go with.
where's that secret stash at?
Okay, so you ring the
Ah.
bell. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
We
Oh.
see it. We see everything.
Oh, nice. All right. 1 second here.
Where is the librarian?
I don't know. Usually he's here, right?
Normally it's closed. We'd have to, like, knock on his door to get him to
Yeah.
open it again.
1
This
second
is
here.
odd.
My images are not refreshing.
You guys do know I went to see him. So,
Yeah. So Euphemia came here.
Could you message her?
Kill him. I don't know how to message her. I start yelling real loud.
It's only
you're the only
120
one
feet.
that would speak. I think.
Do you think she would be outside? I could try to wind speak her.
I'm in another dimension. Oh, wait, you
Yeah, she's in her parallel plane or her magnificent mansion.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't know her usual habits though, so I'm asking them if, like, where would she normally be? Like in the dorm, outside, like just in case I wanted to try to communicate with her.
Yeah, she wouldn't. She usually goes in her mansion.
Ah, okay, that doesn't work.
Okay. So, I'm having trouble with my folder right now. Oh, there we go. Let's see this. Normally when I put new images inside my Fantasy Grounds folder, the list automatically updates,
hmm
and I could just share them with you, but it's taking a while to refresh. Okay. So you guys, Deimos and Renly, you're there at the door, at the desk, and you ring the bell, and you hear this faint sound come off from back like inside the office. Help me! Help me!
I'll
Oh,
go
boy.
in there.
Okay.
I rush in.
All right. You rush in, and you see a disfigured, crazed-looked kind of elven man, kind of shriveled up on the ground. His body kind of warped and and bent, and his face kind of scarred and ragged, looking at you.
Frickin' Euphemia. I thought she was joking when she she said she was gonna kill someone.
I attempted greater restoration, but this seems like really bad
Yeah.
magic.
I will also greater restoration along with her, so we get a double great restoration.
And I will cheer them on.
Can you guys see that?
Oh my god!
I can't.
Wow, Euphemia.
Nothing popped up for me.
Is this what happens when she gets angry? I mean, why?
Okay. So Renly and Deimos, you guys go into to try to put your hands on him and restore him.
Everything will be okay.
You gonna
Can
make
you
it?
restore that?
What happened, guys? What happened to you?
Oh,
There, that's what he looks like. He says, "Horrible, the pain, the terror, and as he does that, his mouth kind of begins to split open, and his eyes just kind of warp and change and yeah, they just it becomes really gnarly as his countenance changes and his skin begins to peel back from his skull and spines begin to just grow out of the top of his head, and his arms just like they flex out and these winged like tendril like translucent dragonfly wings begin to sprout from his back. As his spine, you can see it growing spikes and shards begins to rip through the clothing on his back, and his skin just begins to flake off and peel away.
So he's a big, crazy demon dude now?
That's what it looks like now. Alright, so
Ugh.
let's see here. Deimos.
I just used that last game on our Friday game.
While this was all happening, was it possible to activate any spells or anything?
No, you weren't expecting it. So
No,
Deimos,
I just didn't know how long the thing took. Sorry.
Renly, and Albert, go ahead and roll initiative.
I'm there too.
You are there too? Okay, whoever's there, roll initiative.
Ooh, shit. Fuck, is there a demon in here?
can you resend that picture? For some reason, my fancy rounds is not updating.
You might need to clear
Whatever.
your cache or something like that.
Well, no, I'm playing Fallout 4 and I'm building.
Yeah,
It doesn't like.
everyone
dual
else's
screen.
images load up much more quickly than yours are.
Old computer.
Gotcha. Alright,
It looks like a dragonfly.
okay.
Did the greater restoration have any effect, or absolutely nothing?
What happens is that as you try to cast a greater restoration on him, he lashes out and attacks you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you guys are here. Deimos and Renly are down here, around this dude. Here. Alright, so this is within the library. You guys, Albric and Elwyn, you guys didn't hear it all happen. So you just saw Renly and Deimos go rush around this desk inside this office back here. And the doorway's right here. And there's another desk that comes out around here, and it goes around like this. Okay? You're inside the library. Elwyn, you and Albric actually rolled highest, so what are you doing?
So we didn't hear any of that.
You just saw them rush in there. That's all that
Okay.
happened.
All right. I'll rush in as far as I can get. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Wow, that's 30 up to there. I guess I'll double move. And say, Albric! There's a demon!
Okay, Albric, what are you doing?
I'll move, and when he screams, I'm a demon, that'll cause me to double move. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah. I'll get all the way there. That's 15 feet in a straight line, and I'll make my attack.
Okay. You use your bonus action to charge, right? To
Dash, yep.
dash. All right. So you rush in and you see this. It's expanded. It's larger, but it's mostly because its spindly arms and wings and stuff are encompassing a larger area than a normal person's body would.
I forgot how to sorcerer. I forgot I could quicken
No.
spells.
Oh, Elwin, a while ago, and this was like months ago, I slightly modified your dragonkin staff. But I don't think you ever noticed. So I changed the effect actions in your actions tab. I had buffed it just slightly, but you might want to relook at it.
Nice.
That was a while ago.
Can you show that map one more time? Sorry.
There.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been rolling 24. D6.
Yeah, I did that a while ago.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Okay, Albrecht, what are you doing?
Attacking him.
Okay. Describe what it looks like.
This is my second attack. So basically, oh wait, that should not be, because I shouldn't be able to activate my flame because I dashed as a bonus action.
Okay. So
Basically, I come in with a giant great sword and I start cleaving away at this guy.
Okay.
Attack hit, I did 26 points of damage, and then here. Here's the damage.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. You see bits of shard and shards of bone and claw just like splintering off as this thing snarls and it shrieks with the impact of your flaming sword. This thing got an attack on you, Renly, since you went into to heal it. And we'll give it advantage because it's surprising. 2 claw attacks, 1 sting attack. Oh! Oh, with the stinger. Oh, here it comes.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So would it be funny if like this thing killed you all?
I literally just pulled this out of the monster manual. If this kills you, you guys have serious problems.
I was about to say, I think between Deimos and I, we have over 500 hit points. So if this is straight out of the monster manual, good luck.
It's a CR9 creature. All right. So that's its sting attack. So Renly, its tail comes lashing out, and as you're reaching out to heal it, it just like punches into your shoulder, and you can feel it in just like flooding your small frame with like this demonic venom.
Oh my god.
All right. 2 slash attacks at you. Oh, look at this!
What the hell, man?
That would have been an auto kill in my game.
Oh my god.
All right, and as it happens, a claw comes up and catches you on the side. You roll over, and you narrowly evade the 3rd slashing attack. All right, Ashok, you're there, right? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So it's your turn now. You didn't hear it, so you were back by the counter as well. By this point, you know something's going
Okay, well,
on. You hear the slashing and the scraping and the screams.
That's all I can do. Double
Okay.
movement speed.
So you go in to see Renly just diving out of the way as this thing just like slashes at the spot that she was formerly standing in. Deimos.
Alright, Deimos' turn. He doesn't know how this works, but he's gonna try to slap it with a greater restoration. Yep, I'm gonna do that as my action.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but Deimos would prefer to save this guy. This definitely looks like he's been possessed or taken over.
Yeah, roll a religion check.
Ugh.
You do that and nothing happens.
Okay. And then as a bonus action, I'm gonna do nothing.
Renly, your
Okay.
turn.
I look at him and I polymorph him into a worm. I do not know if this will work, but I'm gonna try.
Does polymorph work on?
It works on any creature, as long as it's a creature.
It doesn't work on anything that shapeshifts or changes.
Yes,
creature
a
you can see
shapeshifter
within
will not
range
work
into a new
on.
form. An unwilling creature must make a wisdom saving throw to avoid the effect. Alright. Works on any creature, huh? Okay, so he needs to make a wisdom saving throw. He does have advantage. Okay.
Alrighty, he is a worm, and object interaction, grab a jar and scoop it into jar.
Okay.
We have to find Liam!
Alright, so you shove him into a jar. He goes poof, like that. And gets crumpled into a jar. So, he's gonna make a save every 6 seconds. What are you guys doing?
Do we know that he has to save every 6
I
seconds?
think he gets save
Yeah.
every 6 seconds, right? Yeah.
I don't think
No?
so.
Does that probably work for
It's
us?
it's until it goes to 0 hit points. I think.
That is
Almost has a
super
timer.
powerful for a 4th level spell. Then
Yes.
Oh, he doesn't get
But then if as soon as it takes damage or dies, it ends.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. Alright, so he's polymorphed into a worm. You have 1 hour.
Yes.
What are you guys doing?
can
The
I kill it?
fuck happened?
You can try to do whatever you want.
We need to find Liam
So
and
Ren-
find out what Euphemia did to him.
So Renly, you know he's the librarian. His name was what's his name? Shit, what's his name?
Librarian.
Asshole.
What's a pompous little? His name was Reginald. No. His name was Roger. Roger the librarian.
Yeah.
Roger Moore.
Well, you go find Liam. Where did that guy keep all the good books?
Are you still on that?
Hey, it's a book or one of those non-attunement things.
I
need
wave
one
a
of the
finger
two.
at you. Do not make me tear up that note.
Okay.
Fine.
All right. What are you guys doing? So who's rushing off to find Liam, and what are the rest of you doing?
I'm heading off to find Liam. We
Okay.
have 1 hour, so I get off my broom and start zooming.
Okay.
I start walking behind her. As soon as she leaves, I'm gonna turn back around and then look for the books.
Okay. Okay. So Renly, you head out to find Liam. The rest of you guys, are you looking for books? What are you looking for?
Hey, Elwin. Just because I might be able to help this guy, because I'm totally technically a holy person, could you try to find a book for me?
Yeah, I got you.
Quote unquote holy person. Parentheses.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can
Alright.
definitely see where the party's priorities is on this guy.
Yeah.
All right. So
Hey, wait, aren't you the one who fucked him up?
Aren't you the one
You're the one
Yeah,
who,
look for
who fucked
books
him
for
up for
as
the
he's
book.
trapped in a jar?
all right. So
Well, yeah, because we're trying to save him.
Albric,
No, he's
Ashok,
contained.
and Elwyn roll investigation checks.
We all suck investigating.
Hey, your 17 is pretty good.
Ashok, investigation check. Elwyn, you stumble and just looking around, combing through. It takes you like a full 10 minutes. There's tons of books and papers everywhere, but you find eventually what you gather is a ledger, like a master ledger, and it's a very thick tome. It looks like it's been updated frequently, but in there you find thousands and thousands of listings of various books and stuff like that.
I got time.
It is kind of dense. It is kind of, it's almost coated. Like, these guys are
Yeah.
extremely meticulous in what they're doing, and they're pretty much the only ones who can read it. So you're gonna have to try to decipher this.
Deimos, save him!
I'm gonna try. I don't know what the fuck happened to him.
All right. So you find, but you do find the ledger.
Okay.
All right. Go just for the hell of it. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check right now as you're trying to just glance over it and see if you find anything. Okay. You do find, just looking through, you've encountered a couple of these tomes before, and just cross-referencing off of the most recent entry, where Euphemia is mentioned. You do recognize at least some of the characters in her name. You see the book that was referenced to her, and then you find a couple other entries that look kind of similar to that, but you notice that the 3 other entries that you find, they all seem to have, at least as best as you can tell, they're in like the used section. So none of those are currently up for use.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Flash to to Elwyn, Renly, and Deimos. So you guys are darting across town.
Mhm.
Well,
Where does Liam usually sleep? Like in the dorms or in his own humble abode, or?
He stays in the chapel. He has a very simple, like very sparse and lightly furnished chamber inside the chapel.
Alrighty.
You head over there, and you get to his door. The people definitely let you through, all the guards and the acolytes and stuff. And Liam comes up. He's very groggy. He says,
Oh, Renly, at this late hour of the night.
And Liam, we have a bad situation. The librarian, our librarian Roger, he's become somewhat demonic. I polymorphed him here. He's a worm now, but I do not know what to do. Great restoration did not work.
he says, he says,
How is that possible?
We don't know.
For demons
Yo,
to
yo,
have invaded Mistrala? Perhaps Clovis had some effect.
yes, or
I think someone did
Euphemia?
foul play.
I sense foul play indeed. He says, if this is true, we must conduct a full investigation and examination of every member of the city.
I think you said Euphemia, but I'm not sure now.
Oh, I didn't say nothing.
Oh, who did? Somebody said it. But okay, but we should figure out what to do with him. We don't have much time.
Let's say, quote unquote, someone was possessed or something. Can we unpossess him? You would know more than me.
He says, an exorcism is what you speak of.
Yeah.
He says, of course, it's a difficult and dangerous act. There's one, if successful, depending on the strength of the demon, he may be rebanished to his home hellish plane. But if unsuccessful, he may be loosed here on Earth and be granted, access to this plane that he might not otherwise have.
I say we just we get rid of him. We can banish it. We got enough holy juice between us.
Very well.
Perhaps you should get your friends and see about killing it if it doesn't work as a worst situation.
he takes the, he looks at the jar. He says,
It's a rather small demon, if you ask me.
Oh,
It
she got
was
turned
very
into a
big.
worm.
It was very big.
I see. Very well. He says,
he says,
let me get my slippers.
he goes to his room. He comes back out in his little straw slippers, and he makes his way over to an altar, and he says,
Please place the creature upon the altar.
I carefully the worm out of the jar.
It goes inching across the platform. He says,
Don't travel in haste, small one. We will do our best to free you. He says, Deimos,
Yeah.
would you care to pray with me again?
All right, let's do this.
he reaches out his hands for you to hold.
I fist bump him.
Hold his hand,
His
damn
hands
it!
are still out there. They're all little shriveled, wrinkled, arthritic hands.
I'm looking at him like, I will make the same motion as he is doing, assuming it's part of the ritual. I'm really confused on this.
I will start jumping up and trying to reach for their hands to put them together.
Liam is he's still
Okay.
just holding his hands out. He's just looking at you.
All right, I will grab his hands with a weird look on my face. I'm really confused on what's going on.
And you feel his little bony fingers just kind of close up around your hands. And he smiles. He says,
Very good.
and he closes his eyes and he begins to hum.
I think he has some sick lat workouts.
He says,
We beseech you, O great god Lathander. We, your humble servants,
Whoa, whoa. Yeah.
we who swear fealty and worship to you forever and ever, may your glory encompass this plane.
Tam was just really confused on what this guy's doing. I'm just like thinking of now of just like deadlifting literally a small truck.
okay, they must roll a religion check with advantage.
I've given you guidance.
And she's guiding you. Oh. Okay. All right. As you guys are sitting there, Deimos, you're thinking about, you're flexing your glutes, and Liam is there beseeching Lathander. You see the worm begin to like wriggle sideways and flip and turn, and the light in the room. There's only candlelight basically around the room, but you see the candlelight glow more intense and hotter, almost like they become torchlight, filling the small chamber that you guys are in. The worm begins to wriggle and vibrate, and then, without breaking the polymorph spell, you guys see a black cloud almost of mist just explode out of the worm, and hover and linger in the air for a little bit, and begins to move and swirl a little bit in the air. And Lathander says,
It seems we have encountered a degree of success. He says, Now, Deimos, the most crucial part. He says, Pray. Pray with all your might, my young friend.
Deimos does as he goes super Deimos mode and starts punching the shit out of it, because that's praying, right?
you're swinging at the air.
Deimos he's just doing it. He's just swinging at that cloud. He's going super Deimos mode. He's just going all out.
As you're doing that, you feel Lathander reach out and grab your hands, and he says, "Don't break the connection." And he holds your hands back down.
Okay.
All right. He hums and prays again.
O great Lathander, we, your humble servants, beseech you. We who will serve you forever.
Deimos is thinking how cool it would be if he starts this cool deltoid regiment, because his neck's gonna look like a tree trunk.
All right. Roll one more religion check advantage. And
You
guidance.
have a 4 from guidance.
Okay. With that, Deimos, as you're flexing your delts, you hear this otherworldly screech in the air, this like screeching, hissing sound as the black cloud, like a bunch of little black particles in the air, slowly begins to dissipate and fade away. Liam says,
It is done.
Sweet.
Oh.
Let's unworm him.
Yes, I drop a polymorph.
"Okay." Roger is lying on top of the altar, completely naked.
Does he look normal or does he look really rough like before the previous picture?
His skin is still all scarred up. The maddened look is gone from his face. His body still has some physical sign of the change. And he's there. He's like, ah! And you see him start covering his crotch and just like, curling up on top of the altar.
So what the fuck happened?
He says, it was despicable. It was terrible. She sent me to this plane of torture and hell. These worms and creatures burrowed into my mind. He says,
Oh, that's shitty.
he starts crying.
I poke him and greater restore him.
Okay. You see him, his breathing begin to calm down a little bit as you do that. And then, yeah, go on.
Oh no! Sorry, no, nothing.
And as you do that, Renly, he just kind of drifts off to sleep, lying there on top of the stone altar.
I said when he wakes up, we should probably figure out what the fuck happened, because we don't want to
Very
have
much.
demons or whatever they're invading Estrala.
Indeed. This is definitely a security issue.
Renly
I
says,
poke him again just to be
Yeah.
safe and do another greater restoration.
I'll blast with another one too.
as you do that, some of the scarring and some of the effects of the trauma and like his white, he had lost patches of hair, and a lot of his other hair had turned white, but you can see some of the color returning to his skin, and his hair beginning to darken again.
Liam, perhaps you might be able to reverse some of these scars, because I have a feeling he will be very upset in the morning. He loved to be so neat and tidy. This is really bad.
He says,
Oh yes, Roger. A bit of an ass, wasn't he?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, fine.
he says,
I and my attendants will care for him. It seems his scarring and his trauma was quite intense. It might take some time, but we will care for him.
Understandable.
I leave the security of Bestrala to you, Randy. After all, you are one of the three.
I slump.
he says,
Guard our city well. We entrust you with all our hopes and dreams.
Randy like crouches over. I
Don't fail the students who look up to you.
Randy now runs away. She got a broom. She exits stage left.
as she runs away, Liam like jabs you with his elbow, Deimos, and he chuckles and he winks at you.
Now, an old man is off to bed.
Wait, what?
Me,
Oh, get out of here.
me, you blockhead.
Ah,
Now get the fuck
I know.
out. Get the fuck out.
wait, how old are you? How old are you?
Get the fuck out.
I will tickle you silly. Go to bed, you old man. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna start mumbling under my breath. It's a bunch of stupid shit, and then I'm gonna walk out the door.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else want to do anything before you guys turn in for the night?
Oh, I will contact Boulder to be ready for the morning. That's about it. He was dealing with a lot of the recovery of Mistrala, like the spy area, but I think we'll need him. So
Yeah.
Boulder's coming back.
Yeah, he's been helping with the rebuilding efforts. Okay. All right. You guys all rest that night. Let's see here. Euphemia, you stay up as late as you can reading, and then you drift off into your trance for whatever required time to sleep, and then you spend the rest of the time
4.
getting your long rests. Yeah, you still have to spend a few more hours just resting. The study work is pretty intense, pretty academic, intellectually draining, so you cannot read and get a long rest at the same time. So it still takes you the full 8 hours. But you do manage to put a good dent into the the beginning chapter of the book.
I'll probably just stay up all night then.
You want to stay up all night reading it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next morning you stay up, but you take a level of exhaustion. But you do manage to make a good chunk of your way through the first section. Renly, that night as you are sleeping, it's been an intense day for you. It's been full of surprise and drama, and now this thing that happened to Roger and the demon in the city, and now all the weight of the responsibility, it's kind of like plaguing you. Suffice it to say, you have a very fitful, restless night.
Very much so.
Yeah, you're tossing and turning, and you're worrying, and you're fretting. Deep into the night, it's dark out. You're not quite sure what's going on. You hear. You're in a half awake, half asleep state, and you swear for a second something catches your ear. You hear this scratching sound in your room.
Oh, okay. I will get up. Maybe it's somebody trying to communicate. Is it a rat? I look around.
Okay. It's dark, but your dark vision. You're looking around for a second, and you hear it again coming over the corner, by your closet door, your closed closet door.
I will head over and pop it open.
Okay. As you begin to walk over there, you're looking down at the ground, and you get closer, and you see black smoke beginning to curl out from underneath the door.
Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. Oh, who do I have nearby in the nearby area? Because I will probably just try and call for some help if there's a fire in there.
Near your quarters, you're a druid. You're slightly reclusive. No one is near you.
Okay, I will send some of my shrubbery and all to go get some help.
Okay, your shrubberies are sleeping.
Unfortunately,
They're awake and they sleep now.
I would assume that like the plants and the animals would be very scared of
It's
fire
nighttime.
and would be running away.
It's nighttime. You're alone in your room.
Okay, crap. Okay, I don't have anything I can exactly do. I am just gonna try to deal with it. I am going to summon, let me see. I'm going to summon Hydron, and I'm gonna pop that door open.
As you look about for your staff, because you're not sleeping with it, you turn around, and suddenly you're staring at this blazing, glowing set of eyes right in front of your face. This creature is towering over you, with brimstone and fire swirling all around, and the blazing buzz of insect wings filling the air.
Hello. Oh wait, I know you.
And your mind is suddenly assaulted with intense pain and overwhelming terror. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh crap.
Okay. You are able to stave off the frightened effect, but you still find yourself dropping to your knees at the intensity of the psychic assault that's going through you. And you hear this voice booming in your mind. You are not worthy. You are a fraud. A failure. You will disgrace yourself and your people. Make another
Did
wisdom.
Druin send you?
Make another wisdom saving throw. Okay. The last thing that he said there, it catches something and deep down inside you, and you suddenly begin to be afraid, frightened of what he says might possibly be true. You've been thinking it yourself the whole time, but you've been trying to talk yourself out of it.
I might be a failure, but I have a plan for this, and this might actually work. So screw you, but it might be true.
He says, "We will see you for the fraud you are.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Your incompetence will lead to the destruction of this city. Everyone you love will die a painful death because of you."
Alright,
No, that is a bit extreme.
roll another wisdom saving throw.
I mean, there are 3 of us here. You see, it's not
Okay.
just me now.
Okay. So you begin to gain some confidence. What else are you saying?
You should definitely check with somebody else. And did Rune send you? Because I know he wasn't very pleased, but I do hope that he can work with me, and I do hope that he will actually be interested in some bits of power. So do tell him that if you see him again. But do not come back, okay? Because this is very depressing.
Okay. You see him just like falter for a little bit, and then he says, "You are nothing!" And the flame, burning insects all around him just begin to swarm all over you, and they start stinging you. And you can definitely feel the pain of their little
Ow!
proboscis or whatever you call them start penetrating your skin, injecting burning hot like fire into your veins and underneath your skin surface. It's extremely
I
painful.
absorb elements to try to avoid it, but I have a feeling this is all psychic, maybe? I'm not sure. I do not know if this will work.
One more wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Okay. So as the in the first few seconds, you can feel their stingers beginning to fill you, and then like the pain begins to overwhelm you. You do find another well of a reserve of just confidence inside you. What do you say?
Ow! But you know what? Now I'm angry. If you do not stop this, I will find out what the hell you are, and we will come and deal with you. I have new friends. Damn it! Go away!
Okay.
You have not heard the last of me.
If I haven't, I'll be coming for you.
And he fades away.
Oh, I can speak to bees. Damn it! Where is my staff?
Okay. By this
Alright,
time,
please.
it's way late in the night, and you just shake your head a little bit and just collapse into your bed out of exhaustion.
I pop a last greater rest, last one I had on me
Okay.
for the night.
Okay. All right. Next morning comes around. Everybody wakes up fairly at various points in the morning, but you all eventually come out of your quarters. What do you guys want to do?
First thing I want to do really early is walk to the library and sort of slip the book back nonchalantly, like if it was never taken.
Okay.
Then I'll go find
The-
the rest of the peeps so we can teleport.
Okay.
What would you slip?
The
That
ledger.
book.
Oh, okay.
Euphemia, what are you doing? You're still studying?
Yeah, but I'll go out. Well, I'll go out and make sure everything's okay. It's like, hi, what's up, guys?
It's like some demon got in the city.
What? Did you
Wait,
fuck up?
No,
What'd you do?
wait to figure it out. Actually, Damos is gonna go to that guy that we saved, see if he's doing any better. Because we don't want this place to get overrun.
Okay. Ashok, what are you doing? Ashok, you here?
Yeah,
What you up to?
I'll just meet up with Deimos.
Okay. So you're hanging out with Deimos as you guys head over to the chapel. Liam is there bright and early. He says, "Oh,
Deimos, you are surprisingly skillful in the ways of Lathander, you know.
I'm still really confused in the stuff he's talking about.
He says, oh, pay no mind to the words of an old man. Are you here to see Roger?
Yeah.
I'm afraid you cannot.
Oh shit. What's wrong?
He is recovering. The trauma was severe. The damage to his mind was worse than the damage to his body.
Oh shit.
It will take some time for him to recover.
But he's gonna make it, right?
Yes, we can only hope.
All right. Well, I let him know if there's anything I can do to let me know, and I'm gonna say peace.
You should seek out everyone else who might be likewise possessed. I fear that if Raja were able to be changed, yes, perhaps everyone else in this town is likewise vulnerable.
Is there a way to find out?
Yes, only through careful physical inspection and prayer.
Oh shit.
What kind of signs?
He says, the paling of the skin, the craze in the eyes, the speaking in odd voices.
Okay, so the standard stuff. All right. Well, I tell him to get this guy to be alive again, and we'll figure out what's going on.
Very good.
We got shit to do. Also, give me your staff.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, I'm gonna head out as long as this guy's okay. I'm sure they'll figure whatever happened.
Okay. All right. What else? What are the rest of you guys doing? Albrick?
I just realized I wasn't on mute this whole time. So I'm just, I guess I'm following Deimos around, or Elwyn, because I know what the next thing we need to do besides make sure this place is safe from Haslin. So I'm just waiting to either go fight some more demons or teleport back to Haslin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just getting all the food and stuff together that we got, and just waiting for the rest of the people in the spot we had designated.
I'm gonna try to get some potions of healing. I'll search around for those because Deimos is. I'm just gonna try to keep buying them whenever I can.
Okay. Yeah. You find a readily available. There's especially at the. Wait. In the general area, you're able to find 6 potions of greater healing and 1 supreme.
How many of the lesser?
And 5 superior. So, what are you looking for? Just lesser, just normal healing potions?
Also like those two, just so we can pass them out.
Okay, so greater healing potions, I think, are what, 500 apiece?
Yeah.
They go quite a bit more expensive from there.
Yeah. How much are the rate? Because after my credit card got almost maxed out, I'm just trying to pick out the cheaper shit.
100 gold apiece for the regular ones. You can find 6 of those also. So 6 regulars and 6 graders.
I will buy the 6 regulars then.
Okay. 6 regular healing potions.
Thank you again very much, Deimos, for letting me buy my belt.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. This is gonna be fucking awesome.
Alright. So you guys are gathering up your supplies. You found a central area, like a kind of an open courtyard area to gather these supplies, and you're readying yourselves for the trip. And also, Renly, it's getting close to the hour when you had called everyone to come together.
Oh, okay. I wasn't quite sure about that, so. But first thing in the morning, I would ritual cast and just check with Telephos and Matthew. And when we start to see if they were visited by strange bee demon or any other demon during their sleep that night. And I would hope that they have not, but I would just ask.
Neither of them know what you're talking about.
Okay, I will tell them to just be like, be careful. There might be something that's making the rounds. I'm not sure. Also, Roger got affected by a devil as well. You should visit him at Liam's place.
They say something to the effect of, "Yeah, we'll put that on the list."
Okay. I go and I try to find Boulder, and then we head. We'll need to check out the observation deck to see any tree nearby Haslin if we're gonna transport by plant over.
Okay. As you're heading over to the observation deck, I mean, you pass through the courtyard where everyone else is kind of beginning to gather around. One of your acolytes, or your students in the druidic arts, a friendly little dryad person. I have a picture of a dryad. Pretty sure I have a picture of a dryad. Comes up to you and says, Instructor! He says, "You bid us talk to great druids in far-off land. Bring them here."
Indeed. Yes, if they have time.
She says, "We cannot."
Oh, you couldn't talk to them, or they said no?
She says, "We cannot go beyond borders of country."
Oh, you're stuck in Mistrala?
"No, we travel to country borders," says, "and people there not let us leave."
Oh, I get you.
Lots of
Yes,
people,
don't.
many shiny
Wait.
swords.
What?
This is her.
What do they look like? I asked for description because oh my god, this doesn't sound racism anymore.
She says, "Many people coming through border. I see no great druids."
Wait, coming through Mistrala border or other border?
Mistrala border of country.
Where? Which way?
She points to the south.
Ah, crap.
Over there, yonder.
I pull out a map of Mistrala and this way, and I start trying to like narrow it down.
Okay. She points directly south, so here's Mistrala. Right? She points directly
at
south.
the road.
Along the main road.
Oh crap. Okay.
She says, "Moving fast. Likely be here soon. I saw them," she says,
Okay, time
"before
to.
sun's wake."
Suns as in like sunrise?
Yes, when bright skylight wakes.
Okay. Okay, I message Teleforce and Vanessa, and I go, emergency, invading forces or some people with swords coming in from South Road. Advice, and that is the message.
When Lisa ignores you.
Oh my god!
And something you get a note back that says, "Currently occupied with very serious matters. Please do not disturb."
Oh my god, is that also something to worry about now? Oh god.
And eventually, Ava arrives and says, she says, "Master Telephos sent me here." She said, You requested his presence?"
There is an invading force or people with swords coming through from the south at the South Road.
She says, "Yes, we were watching them since this morning from the observation deck."
Oh, I'm headed there right now. Talk to me as we go. And I will also wave at the group as we are going by that area. Be like, we might need you.
"No need. I believe they are here, or they shall be soon."
Oh. Are these invading forces or reinforcements?
She says, You might ask your friends.
Guys! I ran over.
Okay. Um,
I'm probably just waiting there, tapping my foot, waiting for everybody to get there, just leaning against
Question.
the.
yes.
Are they Asian?
She, she looks at you. She says, "Whatever do you mean?"
Do they have colorful armor with
What, slanty eyes?
what is it?
Do they look
not
like
say
they're
that,
not
Tom.
fully awake?
I draw a sword. I draw a samurai.
Describe their clothing,
know.
not their features, damn it.
I don't know. How do you describe Asian warrior
Oriental?
fantasy thing?
Oriental.
Well, that's again.
Oh my god.
How do you
Really pissed
describe
off
people?
because it's-
How do you describe
it's
them?
dead.
Do they look Asian?
Have you ever seen Rush Hour?
She says, "I'm not quite sure I understand what you are getting at. They are not from here."
I'll just go up to the sky, fly up,
Wait,
and try
okay.
to get a look.
What direction
South.
is the kingdom? No, the kingdom that where
That's
where
one
they must
south.
kill the king.
South. But everything is south.
They
There's lots
must.
of
I
stuff to
think
the
your
south.
friends here.
There's lots of stuff to the south.
No.
Wait,
Okay.
who's coming from the south? Sorry, I stepped away for a second.
Do I catch any glimpse, any banners, anything
Oh,
from
yes.
the sky?
Oh, yes. You see a decently sized procession making its way towards Mistrala. You figure they're about half an hour out.
Mm-hmm.
From the glint and from the pattern they're moving, you recognize foot soldiers, you recognize mounted cavalry, and broken up into various divisions. So
They don't
pretty
have a
far away.
banner, or no? That's pretty far away. Okay.
Yeah, so pretty far away.
I'll come down. Judging from this distance, about how many people? Like, what's the number?
It's not terribly large. You figure in the 3,000 range.
How far away are they?
About half an hour from here.
Why, man? Oh. Like
So, 3 miles.
Well, if they are friendly, I don't want a meteor swarm them.
So I'm gonna summon my wings. I'm gonna fly out there. Double.
I have been flying over at y'all and waving a stick going, we have to see these things at the observation deck. Teleforce is there.
I'm so.
So, Euphemia, you're heading south?
Yeah.
Okay, what's everyone else doing?
I'll go to the observation deck with Renly.
Okay.
I'll be
Go
doing
with
the
Renly
same.
as well.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll be on the observation deck.
How long does it take them to get to the observation deck?
Not terribly long. A few minutes.
Fine, go to the fucking observation.
Up there,
I
you
didn't use my spell.
up there you find Telephos and a bunch of other of the high-ranking officials, and several of his Magni are the Magnus students are there as well. And Tycho's there too. All
Is
right,
Robin there?
Robin is not there.
Yeah.
So Telephos is there, and they're all gazing out to the south. You hear a whisper, "Friends of yours," as the wind. He doesn't move his mouth at all. It's just him manipulating the air to form words. And
Can we get a look at him?
He points to the south. You see a large, or not large, but a contingent of soldiers approaching the border of Mistrala, all armed, and according to what Elwyn saw, you guys number them, like I said, 2,000 or 3,000. You recognize foot soldiers, you recognize cavalry. as well as a contingent of clerics and what seem to be some like archers and paladins. And at the forefront, flying their banners, you recognize the flag of Erelin. And this person is at the front.
Oh, he's a buddy. Oh yeah, almost meteor swarmed him.
Can you find out like a not so evil picture for him?
Well, when you that's the only picture I have, because when you guys first fought him, he was evil. When you first met him, he was evil. I haven't found a newer one.
Please tell me these are friends.
Yeah, he's a friend. I'm gonna look around and count how many people are here.
In
with
the
us.
inside the
Yeah.
the observation deck,
Mhm.
about 24.
Ah, okay. So I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna go over there. I'm just gonna teleport over there. Who wants to come? I can take 7 people with me.
Okay.
So are we still good to go back for teleporting?
Nope.
Oh yeah, did you get that thing, really?
We still have to go to the keymaker.
Within Mistral itself, you guys can get around.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
still get around.
It's just entering the
Um,
country you can't.
Perhaps take Telephos if he's interested, or Eva as his spokesperson.
What about you?
Oh, I'm definitely coming.
Okay.
Okay. Telephos looks at you all and says, "We are capable of making our own way." And
Okay.
as he says that, you see his form just begin to flicker, and all the magni around him begin to flicker as well, and they just fade out of vision. And behind them,
They could do that.
but you didn't even see him there in the first place. But behind them, you see this guy just standing there. He goes, "I'll go.
Let's go.
Oh yay!"
I'll take everyone else.
Okay. You guys all zap over there, and you guys stand. You find yourself standing in front of what you now see to be a very angry Darius Brightlord.
Oh, we never asked him, did we?
As you guys appear there, he says, "Oh, look who showed up. I was looking for you," he says.
No,
"Where is my sister?"
she's a god.
You see, what had happened was
Goddess.
No, she's just a god.
Goddess.
That's
She
the short
is-
version.
she is the new goddess of magic. She took her place. You should be proud. We all are.
That's a big step up. Just become a god.
Yes.
Like, Dan was just like, he pulls out his calculator. He's like, so let's pretend a person's like a 10. And we're at 20 trillion, you're a god. And she just like went from 10 to 20 trillion, so she's pretty fucking good.
She saved the world. You
Trust
should be
me.
proud of your sister.
You know us. We would murder a lot of people if there was any harm that would come to her.
He says, "My sister
Oh, you get an army
is
back
no
here so
longer part of this world." He says,
But she is.
I've-
She literally is the whole weave of this world.
I guess what
Do
you're
you want
saying
to talk
makes
to
sense.
her?
I tell him also, that's not the thing you got to be worried about. And Azoa, they got one of those super primordial fuck you up dudes, and I think a Quigley times 2. They got one of those guys running around there.
I'm gonna look around for Quigley.
Quigley is not there. If
Yeah.
you are looking for
where's
Quigley, he has gone missing as well.
Oh shit!
He probably joined their army then.
He's probably gonna
Imagine
die.
what he says. Ospium has been thrown into chaos these past few days. He says, looking for Akelia, looking for Quigley, and now these red scaled creatures appearing on our eastern border.
Oh shit!
You guys didn't tell
This
them?
world's going to shit, guys.
He says,
You
and
gotta
here
use
you are
magic
up
to kill
here, whistling off my very sister.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna tell him-
Is like flustered.
To calm down a little bit,
I
I'm gonna say,
sorry.
you're a paladin, right?
He says, I am.
Okay. try praying to the new goddess of magic. See if your sister will give you a sign. I'm sure she will.
Or you could check with them. Come, we might be able to help. I point towards the spire.
He says, if you can verify my sister's safety.
Well,
then we will be
Teleforce can. I point towards Teleforce. He is in
so-
love with her.
I want to point this out. You remember that time that you were trying to kill your sister?
He looks at Telephone. He says, "You." And I've heard of you. He draws his sword.
Yes, the idiot keeps trying to protect her.
He starts charging Telephos.
I will. I mean, I don't know.
She told me what you did.
I
What would you
want to immediately get between Telephos. I've never actually met Darius before, but I'll get between them and try to hold them, and then I will give either Elwyn or Euphemia a look that clearly says someone put their hand over Renly's mouth.
Okay, so you're suddenly standing between Darius and Telephos. Darius
To hold
backs
him
up.
back,
Yeah.
and he has to beat a strength check of 27.
No, he's gonna stop
Plus
before
eight.
he's gonna stop before he gets to you. He's gonna just stare at you. He says, he doesn't know you either. He says, "Out of my way, dwarf." He says, "I'm here to defend my sister's honor."
I go to him and I tell him to sit the fuck down because you're a gosh damn child. I already kicked this son of a bitch for what he did. They were mutual adults. Don't let your sister get degraded like that. She's a gosh damn fucking god. You just don't treat your elders well enough. You need to work better. I respect you, but you know, kids these days. And I'm just gonna go off on like an old man tangent.
She's a god now. She could totally kill him where he stands if she didn't like him anymore.
They keep going off about all the times. It's like, you remember those times we just threw people out of windows because they went fire? Everything's going fine. We got this. Gosh dang it.
Okay. All right. You guys have him calm down for a second. He says, "I apologize. This has been a very trying last few days. You see, I have a connection with my sister. She and I, since we were young, have always known and always felt each other's presence, knowing when the other was in trouble or in danger. And when that was broken 5 days ago, I didn't know what to do. I tried to look for her. She was nowhere in the city. I heard that you had all arrived and spirited her off. But then, conflicting reports of what was happening to the east and to the south came about. And my friend Quigley, gone missing.
Yeah, about that.
So I came here to find you, to find my sister. If what you say is true about her, well, no one could have forced her to do anything she did not wish. I know that much. He looks at Telephos, he says, "My apologies." Telephos nods back.
Would you like to stay for tea at the observation deck? We are having a meeting, and you might be able to see Quigley and other things that might be of import to you.
He looks around, he says, "A very short while." He says, "Danger is brewing. War is coming. We have not much time."
Indeed.
He says, "I brought with me a small portion of Erlin's finest. Come in." And he signals to his men to head in towards the city. He says, "Let us talk." Alright. So Darius Brightlord is here. And you guys head into the city to make your way towards the observation deck, where the rest of the instructors have gathered. There's a lot of commotion in the town as people are looking. It's not often an army visits Mistrala. The Minotaurs are up in a huff, but Renly, you're able to keep them calm. And Telephos says that they're to be treated with respect and as guests. Alright, so the army stations itself on one of the outskirts of the foot of the spire. The rest of you make your way up to the observation deck to meet. Alright?
I check in with the boulder and we go up together.
Okay. Alright, so now you're gathered up there. There's a couple dozen people. You're in the observation deck. Telephos is there, so are Kotinin and a bunch of the higher ranking magi. So is Darius. What are you doing?
Is Liam there?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll motion towards Liam and call out to Darius. Yes, if you want to talk to your sister, perhaps check with Liam over there. He might be of help.
Liam acknowledges Darius and says,
Oh, I would be honored to speak to you of your sister and her fate.
Darius nods. Okay. Kotinin says,
Now, Renly, what is the meaning of this? Why have you called us all here?
I had missed it myself, but I heard much from Ava and everyone else. But yes, they actually knew a number of people in other lands, and there were some points of concern which Telephos actually knows a lot about. So perhaps they could take the lead on this.
Telephos nods. And he begins to tell them of what's going on in the world. So this is the head, all the the authorities and the instructors of Mistrala. Now, as Telephos explains to them what's going on in the world, the dangers, the perils that's coming about, how Mistrala cannot afford to stand by the wayside as this happens, and he's making the point that he wants to expand the Magnus program to train more war mages to basically militarize a large part of Mistrala's resources and manpower. Then he looks at you guys, and he says,
Show them what befalls the world.
what do you guys want to show them?
Everything.
I say someone, because can this show dead bodies? Does the person have to be alive?
You never tried that. You have to give a specific name.
The name of someone I know died in Vortum.
Okay. You guys.
Dwarf name, I don't know.
Yeah, you would definitely have known people in Vortum. So, the observation deck shifts as your elderly half elf friend is there manning the controls and the runes, and he activates the sequence, and the observation deck, all the walls and it's not walls, but the what you guys can see shifts and changes as you guys now look at the smoldering ruins of Vortum. Now mostly deserted, just a few living creatures can be seen: scavengers, looters, vultures, all over the place. There are gasps, and there are some concerned voices. One voice says, though,
But Vortum is on the other side of the continent, hundreds and hundreds of miles away. Why should we be concerned with what the dwarves fancy themselves with?
I'm gonna just kind of give a light slap to the back of the head to whoever said that.
Okay. All right, you
Uh,
should
Hi,
Say,
Commander.
and then I'll say you should be worried because the same creatures that did this are now moving. That is Estrala West.
What do those creatures look like?
So here's Vordum, right? Right there. Right. And Darius had said that they were starting to show up in the eastern section of Erlin. So in this area.
So, yeah. I say because the same creatures that did this specifically to Vordum are starting to move west. They were also in Sindalar and have probably made it have moved west as well. You can ask Ashok about that. How far they've made it west from Sindalar.
Yeah, but they're still a long way from Ospium. My biggest concern right now is the armies that are moving into Hasselin. They're pretty much on us from what you guys have told me. They're pretty much at our gates.
Renly, this is what they look like.
Oh my god. Do we see them on the observation deck, or do we just see dead bodies?
From where you're viewing at Vortum, no, you don't see any.
Okay, because that's Rennie's main concern is for people to see the actual threat. So she's interested in like getting a visual on that on the screen.
Okay, so what are you saying?
I was going to say to Elwin real quick, yes, that's a concern as well, but I'm showing them why they should care about being prepared to defense what can happen to a city.
Oh, okay,
I was
got it.
trying to make. Again, I think Ashok should give a report about how far west of Sindalar they moved, since that's where he went through.
Ashok, do you
before.
remember? Do you remember what we said last week?
Well, I wasn't. You said my character was there, but I wasn't actually. I wasn't actually there.
Yeah. So you had made your way up through Sindalar, right, looking for your clan's people. Could not find any. You encountered a few scattered leapers along the way, but then you went across west to through Oscaria, and you found a few leapers there as well, but very, very few, and they were being actively exterminated. So this whole northern area, the Elven area, was mostly devoid of leapers. The few that you saw were were hiding, and they were on the run.
Did I see any army, any allied nations forming up?
No. You made your way through. So Sindalar is destroyed. The governing structure is crushed. A lot of the population has been slain, and the few that remain are in hiding. Oscaria is the High Elf nation. You had to sneak your way through there. The borders are very intact. They're very isolationist. The king there, King Lothrelian of the High Elves, wants nothing to do with the outside world.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to head out, but I should be good from like this week onward.
Cool.
I had to switch my schedule around a little bit.
No problem.
All right, have a good night.
Have a good
Sorry
night.
about that.
Good night.
Sorry about that, guys, but I'll be good from this point on.
Remembering that's what Ashok told us last week about what where the leapers were, I tell them to lie in front of everybody.
All right. So everyone else hears you say, "Tell him to lie," because you're standing there.
Whisper to him, of course, but I'll roll a stealth check for whispering, but
Sure.
so I'll roll a stealth check to see how whispery I am, and then it's up to him to lie or not. If he doesn't want to lie, I hope he doesn't say anything. Otherwise, yeah. But I'll roll a stealth check.
Roll it.
I'm just gonna say that there's 5 generals, each one of them capable of doing the same thing that they did to the Dwarven City. One of them killed Mistrala.
Do you know any of them or their names?
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who do you wanna show?
Wait, where are you getting 5?
There's 5 of them.
This Whitebeard,
Whitebeard's
Putting the
not one of them.
Gate, and Inkmel.
The four that actually are allied with Asmodeus were Clovis, Ejek, Inkamel, and Malconthet. Those are his four horsemen.
Malcolm
I
and
consi- I
Inkmel
consi-
are.
I consider the leader the 5th.
Oh, Asmodeus himself?
Yeah.
Well, everyone,
Odious.
they all know who Asmodeus
Inkmel.
is. As soon as you say his name, there's a shudder and a hush throughout the room. You say,
The Red God is at work here. Is that what you are saying?
They're his horsemen. They've killed us already once. And now
Telephos.
his gaze is on your country. And the only way to go out, stop him is make sure the rest of the world doesn't fall around you.
Telephos steps forward and says, through Ava, and says, "This is a time for war. This is a time for action. Mistrala has sat back by the wayside too long, and the world burns around us. We must fight for the good of the people of this world, or we will perish alongside them." Darius steps forward also and says, "I agree, and I speak for all of Erelin, the last bastion of humanity. We will fight, but we need allies. Our foes are many, and they surround us and they grow as we speak."
Which foes do you speak of, Darius?
He says, "We have heard the reports of Waterdeep, and the aberration and the blight that spreads across their land.
That is the Whitebeard, is it not?
If that is what he goes by, yes."
I turn over. Could we see him?
Whitebeard is a minor player, though.
Yes, but he's close to Mistrala, it would seem.
So, at the mention of his name, the half-elf man in the back activates the rune sequence, and you see him there, still atop his towering hillside of gold and riches that he's accumulated, all the wealth of Waterdeep, the whole nation, and he's sitting atop of it, surrounded as far as you could see by these necrotic aberrations that he's summoned up.
I go back. I ask the half-elf guy if he can. As we're focusing in on him, we can see basically the border of Waterdeep and Osnesh, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can he go by that slowly to see what the state, where the aberrations, if they're up on the border or not?
There. You guys had viewed a small town before on the border of Waterdeep and Osnesh. As you guys refocus on that, you see that it is also full of these aberrations, and they are moving. They are moving across the border. Slowly, they're just like spreading out. They're not heading with purpose. They're not heading with intent. But they're just beginning to spill over the border.
And this is what you call a minor player.
Yes, there are 2 minor players that we know of right now. What's his face? Whitebeard, and then giant quickly guy, and the other
We
3
don't know
players
if
that we know of.
that giant quickly guy probably worked for the succubus.
Could you say that again?
I think the succubus that we fought, one of the 4 horsemen, is the one that got the quickly wannabe up and running.
Yeah, he's still a minor player.
He's
so
a
the two
minor
minor
player
players.
that's working with one of the main generals, in my opinion. That's a guess. Though.
Technically, wasn't Whitebeard working with Clovis as well?
No. He's part of the pirates. They didn't really care about the whole thing. I think.
Oh.
Anything Whitebeard
Okay, well, still
might
there's-
run into the demons, and then he might fight them. Because
Okay, so-
Whitebeard wants the world for himself. He's not going to want to share it with the demons.
But still, the point is there's Whitebeard and Gromash, and then there's I always forget her name, and Inkmel, and then of course Asmodeus, informing the council.
Well,
No, and those are the names that we have to worry about.
well, those are the names that you know. So just as far as hierarchy goes, the horsemen of Asmodeus were just his servants that he left here on this plane. He brought all the powerful creatures up to heaven with him to kill the gods.
I'm
And when-
going to say Quigley.
And when I say the powerful creatures, I mean the demon lords and the lords of hell up there with him. So everyone, Demogorgon, Orcus, Grozd, the really powerful creatures. They're the ones waging war on the gods. The horsemen are the ones he left on this plane here on the material plane to keep the world in chaos and disrupt the worship centers, the places that would be given the gods power. So that's why they're trying to unsettle countries. They're trying to overthrow governments and stuff to destroy religions, so that the people of this world would worship the gods less, and the gods would have less power and weaken them, so that they can kill them all, basically. So no, I mean you don't just so you know you're not beating the four horsemen and then going straight to Asmodeus.
I mean, that's not what I was claiming. I'm just saying
Okay.
those are the names that we know.
All right.
I mean, like this is like a war briefing, and that's not what I know. That's how I know I did do. So I'm kind of.
Gotcha.
I think I'm in my element.
Okay. All right. So are you saying Gromash? Is that what you're saying? These guys?
I think
Okay, I gave
Elwin
him the
and
names.
Quigley.
I think Elwin Quigley is the next name.
Okay.
Renly told me to punch the operator and say Quigley.
Have the operator punch it in.
Oh. Well,
Okay. You head over to him and you say Quigley, and the operator says, "Very good, very good." And you see this large, hairy, humanoid creature with a pillar on his back, marching south through the rocky plains in northern Hasselin, alongside a very large army of orcs and trolls and various large and sundry beasts and golems and hideous creatures.
Yep, he's been controlled. Yay.
is he like squishing them or like he was with them?
He's walking along with them.
Remember, the big guy has the ability to control everyone else's mind that has the same bloodline that he does. So
And
Quigley-
this is Gromash, right?
Darius says, "Oh, my friend. My poor friend." He says, "I know that place. They're headed to through Hasselin, towards Westvane. Has King Reginald of Haas been informed of this?"
Well, perhaps
we-
you can see what he's doing.
We told him yesterday that we had some information that Hasselin was in trouble, but we didn't have this information. So we were on our way back to Hasselin when we saw you guys coming up. So no.
And what do
And
you
when the demon attacks.
and what do you plan to do there?
We gotta fight
mean-
them. Yeah.
He
I'm
says,
gonna kill all those people.
Gromosh, but
He's-
I don't know about you guys. That's my plan anyway.
he says, look at that army. It is at least 30,000 strong, perhaps more.
Don't worry. I'm gonna slap the prince on the back. You gotta come with us and help us.
Show us this Gromash thing.
And
Okay. You say Gromash. The operator in the back goes, oh fuck. Oh shit.
I think Renly fell out of her chair.
Is that the guy that was saying tits and ass and shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the operator of the observers.
I want to go back
observation
and
deck.
watch just that scene specifically.
He's like in the background. You hear him going, "Oh balls, fuck, us, tits." So as you show Gromash towards the back of this massive army headed south. Now, at this point, the council, and all the instructors are up on their feet, and they're saying, "Gromash has arisen." This is truly the worst of times. And Telephos is he says, "Do you Ava says, do you see now? Do you see now our dire situation? If Gromash has arisen, then this world is much worse off than any of you would have thought." One by one, the instructors and the various heads and council members of Mistrala come to agreement. They say, I can see it. Telephos, you have all that we have. Do what you must. Telephos looks at you, Renly, he says, and you hear him whisper through his wind speak in your ear. He says, we must arm ourselves. We must go to the aid of those in this world. Will you support this?
I respond back with a nod.
And he stands up, he says. Then Ava says, "It is done! The expanded Magnus program will begin today. Let all students who would volunteer for it come to the training grounds. We have much work to do." Darius stands up and says, "You will need more. What other allies do you have to bring to bear? This whole world is soon to be enwrapped in war."
Well,
That
we
is-
still have plans to go find the dragons, but we keep getting sidetracked by
That is part of the reason I called this meeting. Each one of you has friends across the lands. Search your minds, search your past experiences. Are there people you know, individuals you can seek out through this and tell us if they might be of help in one way or the other, as allies to work towards a common goal?
Okay. They begin to talk around. I'll get to you in a second, Ellen. They begin to speak around the table, around the room a little bit, and a few thoughts begin to materialize. There's King Lothrelian of the High Elves. Alright, but as Ashok has told you, he's reclusive, his borders are sealed, they're busy right now expelling the few remaining leapers from their land. Telephos says that he has a relationship with the High Court of the Elves in Oscaria because he had help them with the initial push to turn back the invading leapers from their land. They talk some more. They say that the kingholds of Tazwan. Now you guys remember, as you guys traveled through there are 12 divided kingholds, all small nation states within Tazwan. And they rival each other. They argue with each other. Sometimes they ally with each other. But joined together, they might, they could be a fairly significant military force if someone were to go and persuade them to unite. There is Queen Talize of the Fae in the nation of Kudra, all the way to the south. The Kudra is vastly overgrown. It's all jungle and deep, dense thicket. It's like this completely unsettled land, and the species that live there are one with nature. So the Fae have a strong presence there, as do other species, including Lord Arektos of the air. He also in the land of Kudra. And then they say that no one has heard or seen deep into Rapnesh. No news of what's happening in there, but they do know that one of the larger roaming Goliath tribes left Rapnesh a few years ago, and has been wandering the mountains bordering Rapnesh and Osnesh, so on your map right here. And that you might speak to Thane Zvorik of the Goliaths. Okay, so those are the resources that they know of. As a few of the council members throw out these names and people bounce them around the room, they look at you and say, "And what of you? What allies have you come across? What friends have you made?"
Haslin, Erlin, Land.
Your wimpy asses.
I think Elwin mentioned some names too in chat, but are these people or?
Those are dragons, I presume.
Those are names
Dragons.
you found in a book.
Oh.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna hit that guy, the switcher, and tell him go for those names.
Okay.
What the mage said.
I think, but anyways, game plan wise, I think after we get the names, after we know where the dragons are, we should go solve the problem in Haslin. You guys agree with that?
Deimos' cat
No.
jumps out and like swats him in the face with her tail, and he says to not forget the Ancient One and the Lycanthrope clans in Sindalar.
I think we need dragons personally because.
Okay, so you guys have the allies that you made are Hasselin and the king there. Of course, you have Darius Brightlord and the army of Ospium with you. As Telephos builds up the Magni within Mistrala, they will also be allied with you. And there's the Ancient One and the Lycanthrope clans in Sindalar. You guys are also helpful to them. The Dwarven army has been destroyed, but you had a large portion of survivors from them that you are currently housing in eastern Haslin, in a more remote part of the country, outside your keep. So that's a large portion of the remaining Dwarven population is there. Okay? So something to keep in mind for how you guys might want to plan this. We're definitely going to be doing some wartime strategizing because you guys are going to have to figure this part out. You're going to be moving armies against each other. Just so you know, you guys can't take on an army. If you guys try to fight an army, you die. I'd be rolling 5,000 arrow attacks at you, and that kind of stuff.
Just give me like a.
What?
I was trying to think of something like a combination, like a +5 Cloak of Displacement. So.
cloak of displacement works if an individual is shooting at you, but if there's like 5,000 archers all shooting in your direction, it's gonna blanket you and your double image.
My plan was to just go up and challenge the guy to a one-on-one, but I'm guessing that's not going to be what we're going to do.
I mean, you can try to do whatever you want. Okay, Elwyn. So who do you go? You go back to the operator while everyone is talking, and what do you say?
I take out my little notebook where I've been taking notes, and I just list off all the dragons I know, one by one. First one is Nebularos, because he's like Bahamut's right hand.
Okay. All right. How do we want to do this? All right. So while everyone is talking in the middle of the council room, you walk over to the high elf guy, the half elf guy in the back, and you go up to him and you say, Nebularos. And suddenly the room, like the observation deck has been focused on Hasselin, on places within this, on the ground, and suddenly imagine the camera just shifting and rising up as it points up to the sky. The image goes farther out past where the light of the sun would focus in on the world. So like you're out into space, basically. You're looking out and you see the sky filled with stars, and that's basically what you see encompassing all around you on the observation deck. Basically like a nighttime sky filled with stars.
Okay. What about Shaylin, the Shaylin of Ice, the ice dragon?
The camera begins to shift downward again, out from the retreating from the night sky, pulling back down to this, your world here, and it flies north across the great expanses and the great plains of ice, far north in Nortan, and it
Can I
settles.
go light, by the way, so we can see this?
Sure, you can fit there.
I assume he's just been flying around being worse.
Yeah. I mean, you summon him in, and as this begins to happen, and through some gymnastics and some squeezing, he manages to gain himself entry through, and everyone gasps as a living dragon enters. He says, "Thou hast beckoned me, lady. What carest thou for me to see?"
We're trying to find your people. Thought you might be.
Do you know any names?
He says, "I know many names."
Anyone of import?
He says, "I know Tommy from the townsfolk below. I know Franklin, his little child.
Do you know any dragon names
I know me. I am Light."
other than yourself?
He says, "None that. No." You made him out of a tree. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know jack shit. You made him out of a tree.
I didn't ask the question.
All right.
Reason why
So,
I didn't ask.
Elwyn, as you say, Shaylin, you see a plain of ice far to the north, and you don't see a dragon there. You just see a plain of ice.
She's probably sleeping
Probably
under the
dead.
ice. Candace,
Very
Will this
dead
thing
or under.
focus on dead people? I asked the major.
Well, yes, it can because I focused on a dead person when we looked at Vortum.
The half elf says,
If enough of their essence remains, then it is possible. If they have been long since dead, or then most likely not. But sometimes, if long since dead, if they were creatures of power and significance enough, then their essence will remain enough for us to see.
And then the last two that I know of for sure are the couple. They became mates. The male dragon Cerebor, he's a brass, and then Mirix the red, she's the female.
Don't forget Puff.
So this time the room changes and you begin to sink deep down through the ground. And all around you, all you see is darkness and fire. As you basically you see the whole field of vision is encompassed in magma.
Do we see the shapes of dragons anywhere? Because I know these two, they looked like in the picture in the book, they looked like the dragons that we saw in that temple where Balinar died.
Make a perception check.
Perception. Oh, I will lucky that. Much better.
You're peering into the field of magma, right? You're not really seeing much, and people are looking around and saying, "What is going on here? What are we searching for?" And the light steps forward, and as he walks forward, he looks. He says, "There." And you see him drop to his knees and incline his head down to the ground as he bows before the image. And you look at where he's looking to, and you begin to see this vague shape of a massive creature slumbering deep beneath beneath the surface of the world, bathed in fire and lava. You just make out the faintest of outlines, Elwin.
I think this is showing us live dragons. They're all just hiding within their element.
That in particular will be hard to reach.
Yeah, our best bet is the basement.
Make it come to us.
He says,
That too.
"Oh," and Light says,
You seek the dragons?
Yes, we do.
If thou
Said
dost
that.
seek the dragons, why hast thou not simply asked of me?
Yeah,
I did a few
Euphemia.
weeks ago. You.
he says,
Only,
did.
he says, only a dragon can call the dragons forth.
Then call the dragons. I'm gonna keep poking him. In the big scaly chest.
he says,
Yes, we must travel to the dragon summit. Only
I
from
have
there.
the blood of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
"Go on. What did you say?"
I was just gonna ask him. I have the blood of dragons. Can I call them too?
No, of course not. Thou art but a much diminished half-breed.
Okay.
Burn.
How long will it take us to get there flying?
He says,
I know not. But I can tell you when we are there.
Where is it?
What direction?
Are there trees?
he sticks his head up into the air. He says, and he points off to the south.
That way.
Yeah.
If I were
Is
to set
anyone-
flights, I would know when I got there.
Is anyone there at this time? Like, do you have anybody who stays there?
At the Dragon Summit. Yes. Any dragon who approaches has the right to call forth. And Dragonkin will hear. Whether or not they respond is up to them.
Okay, so let's make a plan then. Now that we know where to look, we will go to the Dragon Summit, and we'll try to get some dragons on our side.
We could split up. I mean, me and Elwyn go to the Dragon Summit. The rest of you get ready for the army that's heading for Nassau.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll volunteer to stay behind because, again, that's my element is war planning. It's a character. I'll stay behind and help organize our forces. How far away was the Gormish army from Westfane?
Is that what you're looking for?
We've seen it plenty of times, so I'm asking, trying to recollect my memory, how far away it was.
It's hard to get exact measurements from where you are. You see like zoomed in pictures. You don't see you can't see a large overhead view of the whole country and measure how far away they are. All you know is that they're moving through the plains north of in northern Hasselin.
Okay, so because what I would like to do is I would like to take all of our allies that we know. So basically, Reginald, Darius. Well, me myself would represent the dwarves. Telephos, and then also send out what's the word? Couriers to the possible allies that we just got the list of.
Mm-hmm.
Like a giant war summit, if possible. I wonder how easy that, or how.
To call them all together?
Yes, and meet in a central place, because that's the biggest.
All right. It would take a long time for that to happen. I mean, if you're sending couriers, even if they traveled by air, it'd take many days to get to the far stretches of the continent.
You got a city of mages send magical messages that will get there instantly.
Yeah, how do you want to do it?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
one of the things for the meeting.
I will
was that
do that. I will come up with a concrete plan how to do that because I will need either a couple of minutes right now to think of a preliminary plan or just wait until next session and I'll give you a more definite plan. But I had one name I wanted to ask about.
Okay. What's the name?
Killjack. My former character, the NPC now.
Uh-huh. Okay. You say the name Kildrak, and you zoom far off this way. Far, far off. Across the wastelands. To the eastern side of the continent. There's a whole nother land to the east of this, but the wastelands are dark and perilous and very, very treacherous. And there's no caravans and no convoys that cross it. So when the invading army of orcs that Asmodeus led came into Erlin, and in the very first session that you guys played, it was a great surprise because Asmodeus came in with an army from the east. You zoom off far, far to the east, and you zoom in on a small hovel, a small town, maybe a few dozen people. It looks like a mining little settlement at the foot of a like a Black Hill mountain range. You see Kildrak there, working over a forge and an anvil.
I smile as I see him in good health and such, and that just out of curiosity, I want to know what he's making.
It looks like he's making a sword.
Cool. I was just curious as a player.
Okay.
About my NPC. Yeah. Otherwise, I could get a really in-depth way of how I want to gather everybody to you by next week if you just want to do that next week.
I did want to mention that with the meeting, one of the reasons of getting all these names was to ask the people who could provide these names if they knew of ways to treat with these individuals or plans that would help us form these alignments or allies.
Okay.
So if they could submit it.
So the mages of Mistrala are famously reclusive. They don't have much in the sense of political ties. The only connection that they have is Telephos has some connection to Lothrelian and Oscaria, King Lothrelian.
No, okay. For the rest, they only know by name, and they don't have any personal connections in the lands or
Correct.
without. Okay, cool.
Okay, so as much as you guys know, there's a large army of Azoan barbaric creatures heading south towards Hasselin. All right. Like I said, Waterdeep is beginning to overflow, and who knows what Whitebeard is going to do. And Inkamel is rebuilding his army of leapers in Cragland. His first army was destroyed in the fight with Modron, but he is recreating that army with the dwarven people there. All right, and Rapnesh is still a dark void. You don't know what's going on there.
What was that dwarf spy's name again?
His name was Obeard.
The
His name was Obeard.
Yes. He told us where the gate was. Did he say Rapnesh or Norton for the gate?
Rapnesh.
Have we looked for him yet?
Or Beard, yeah. I say the name even though I have no idea who he is.
Okay. You mentioned his name. You zoom in to a broken, basically like tower, a broken tower in Tritanos, and there you see Obeard crouched in the at the top of a spire in Tritanos, basically keeping observing the nuances of what's happening, of what Whitebeard is up to.
The only good dwarf this party has ever had.
Oh, God.
Okay.
That's a
I
burn.
am very, very insulted right now. I am not talking to you for like a whole week, Euphemia.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Game week or out of game week? Because a week can be a
Both.
month in game time.
No. Okay. Good, he's safe. And then I'll say one more name, Robin.
Okay.
Sure, it's up to you.
All right. So, you zoom in to the living quarters here in Mistrala, and you see a healed up but still incredibly disfigured Robin. So, like, when Feldorin used the Sovereign Glue to glue his mouth shut, and he used his like burning sword to cut his mouth back open, you can't really cut through Sovereign Glue. It's Sovereign Glue. It's not cuttable.
It made a new hole.
So he was cutting everything around the glue, but so embedded in his face is like the cauterized flesh, and still the remnants of the glue is still like split amongst or like across the top of his mouth, and below is like the ripped up like and burnt bottom lip. The healers and the magisters here did their best to basically recover and heal the scar tissue, but he still has like large chunks of Sovereign Glue just like embedded into his skin now across his face,
So
and it's very disfiguring. What?
Did we just make the Joker?
That's what I was just thinking. The new Joker appear on.
Well, at the moment you see him walking out of Feldorn's room.
You kind of cut off.
At the moment you see, as soon as you, can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. At the moment, as soon as you call out his name, you see him walking out of Feldorn's room, his pouch full.
Wait, what? Walking out of Feldorn's room?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, he stole Felton's stuff.
Jeez.
They say he's laughing maniacally.
Well, he does have a determined look across his face. He was previously pretty happy and jovial. You haven't heard him laugh since then, though.
You might
Any
need to
chance-
do something about that.
Carrying like a sword, a light sword or
Is
something.
he carrying a sword? No, he's not.
No, I'm saying did he steal Feldorn's light sword?
No.
Oh, phooey. Not even funny.
Okay. What else are you guys looking for?
I will say Lord Erectos of the Air, like just to see if since nobody has heard from him, so just to see what we see when the name is said.
Okay.
And after that, I'm gonna say Elwyn, fire god from the sky, just to see what happens. See if there's an inception moment.
One second here.
Please show a firebug. Please show a firebug.
Okay. As you mentioned, Lord Arctos, this is what you guys see. High up in a atop the peak of a mountain is a small settlement there, and you see winged creatures flying all through the all around. These large,
Oh, wow.
elaborate wooden, made from obviously branches and tree limbs and stuff. This large, like, rough sky city that's
Wow.
built across the peaks of several neighboring mountains.
Would I know what that is?
Maybe. Do you know what it is? Would
Well,
Ashok know what it
okay.
is? Possibly.
No.
Possibly. He's an Aarakocra. You recognize something of some. They're pretty reclusive, but you've heard of them at least.
Ooh, I got a name.
Okay.
Which I think you know it.
Okay. That looks about right, Renly.
Okay. Oh. Any of the potential allies that we have not been able to get any information on besides Lord Erectos, like and Gromash, like ones who've only been heard in legend and tales so far.
I know an ally that might be good and bad.
If
I
you
don't see
need
my
to speak to
character's
someone-
mother's name.
What's her name? I think it's in your notes somewhere.
It's in my notes, but I can't remember. It's been so long since I thought
Sylphia.
about
That's what you
it.
named her.
What?
It's in your notes. It's Sylphia.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what's in your notes.
Guys, don't forget the ancient one. The
Yes, current allies, right?
Okay. So Euphemia, you mentioned her name.
You still have not been to the Underdark.
You have not been to the Underdark.
Gotta remember.
Okay. So the scenery changes as your vision shifts deep into the Underdark, and you see blurs of motion as a small pack of drow females is running. You recognize them as warriors. You count 4, maybe 5 of them, and among them you recognize an older female individual in the middle of the pack, rushing along. You can tell that it looks like you're not terribly certain if they're running to something or running from something, but as you gaze a little bit longer, you get the distinct impression that they're running from something. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
I need to go to bed though.
Okay. So we're going into war planning phases. There's armies and it's gonna be nations. You guys are all level 19 now. You have influence over with the rulers of various nations, and you can make allies with others and recruiting different nations to come alongside you. So we'll see how you guys play this out.
Indeed. Did anyone have any particular place they wanted to go to? I think like Hafen and the Dragons was prior.
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
what,
I think
was about to
splitting up
discuss
is
that
our
real
best.
quick.
Yeah.
I think splitting up is our best.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that's why, if you guys didn't read my groups, the groups I was thinking are Elwyn and Euphemia go to the Dragons with Light. Ashok and Feldorn head to Haslin to make sure it doesn't get destroyed while we war plan. And then Renly and I can stay in Mistrala and coordinate sending out emissaries and stuff.
If it's about Vestry not getting destroyed, I think the observation deck can be used to keep an eye on things. If they need to follow the army through quickly and Kramash and all. But so we might be able to do it with 2 parties, and that way it might work out easier.
If they get destroyed, it's a matter of when. So that's why I was going to send them there so they could rally the army and such.
Oh, okay, so
Because the king still has no idea what's coming.
okay,
We
so
haven't
basically
told them.
having 2 fronts, one war planning in Mistrala, and the other is the answering strategy for defense in Haslin.
Dragons, war planning in Mistrala, defense in Haslin.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking. Of course, it depends on what Feldorn and Deimos want to do when they get back, but I think Deimos would gladly go to Haslin to defend.
Okay.
I think would be good there too. Coordinate the archers.
Darius is going to say again, I'm assuming you guys are all deliberating here. Darius is going to say again, and what do a few of you plan to do to save Westvane?
To send
Oh,
3 of
that's fine.
us and rally the army there, and maybe get some help from the north. And I give him an eye, not like an evil eye, but an annoyed eye.
He says,
I think
So,
we
Because
need to
I
say
feel like he's
possible
underestimating my ability. So
he says, as a
I'm
matter
trying to-
of just a matter of sheer force, he says, that army marching towards them, from what little we saw, he says, could probably overtake any city in this entire continent. Ospium itself would be hard pressed to withstand it. Westvane is a much smaller city. Haslin, a much less populated nation. Westvane will not stand for long against that.
I seem to remember your city and your country being overrun by hundreds of thousands of undead until we took care of that. We're not scared. You can go home if you like, but we're going to fight them.
But as y'all fight them, should we perhaps coordinate like an evacuation effort? I could try to contact a few of the druids now that the roads are clear and see about having some of the civilian population transported somewhere that's safer.
that's the
talking,
question,
right?
though, is where. evacuation place. I can't think of a good evacuation place.
For now, I mean, you mentioned survivors east of Haslin or somewhere.
That's our own
That at
personal
least
little
they can-
town.
Okay.
So that we don't need. If we were to evacuate that way, it'd just be a traditional evacuation. We wouldn't need teleportation for that. I do think we should hire some student interns, a non-paid unpaid internship, of course, but for teleportation spells and sending spells.
There's plenty of mages in here at your disposal.
So that was the.
Are some of them looking for unpaid
What's,
internships?
Sure.
Are there any particular lands that might be willing to hold refugees?
I look at Darius.
From Haslin, yeah. He says, of course.
Perhaps we could coordinate it in that direction.
I think you guys can take care of the rest. Euphemia and I can start heading towards the dragons. Because we still gotta call them. And I don't know how long they'll take to answer the call.
Yeah, you guys shoot.
Are we sure Deimos that doesn't want to come with us?
Shall we
With you
split
next
the party next week?
Or
Yeah, split the party next week, but are you guys gonna take an intern, or do you have enough teleportation and sending between the two of you?
I got this.
we're the party's only teleportation.
Yeah, we got this.
Can you guys send?
That might actually be bad.
Oh, you guys got.
Yeah, we'll probably need to find some interns for ourselves for teleportation.
Like, you can,
We need interns. I'm talking about. Do you guys have ways of communicating back to us? The loop
Yes,
for
we
you
need to
guys.
go and find the keymaker for that.
look
Yeah, we
for the
can take-
tires in the west.
Some sending stones, I
yeah.
think.
So
that
they'll
would
take
also
some
be available to you, yeah.
Well, the king can talk to me at any time he wants to.
Well, that's the
One
king.
talk
I'm
to
talking
you.
about you talking directly to
Well,
me.
aren't you guys going to go to the king and help him?
I'll take one and talk to you, Kildrak. I mean, Albert.
Two of us are staying here in Mistrala to organize our allies. Three of them are going to Haslin.
Okay. Alright.
Unless when we come back next week, Deimos wants to go with you guys to the Dragons, then Feldorn and Ashok can organize the war effort in Haslin.
Alright, yeah, we can definitely
Needs to
work
go-
on that.
Everyone needs to go to the Keymaker and make sure them or their intern is registered.
Alright, so for the sake of speeding up the process, we'll say that you're all, through various magical means, I mean, there's plenty of resources available for that kind of thing here in Mistrala. Equipped with sending stones to be able to communicate with the rest of your party, and not necessarily limited to the one sending spell per day. It can be more of a two-way conversation, cell phone style.
Like cell phones. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
You guys are also given access to teleport through Mistrala's magical barriers and communicate through them. So, as long as one of you is with the teleporting party, you will be able to gain access through the barriers. And really, the barriers only prevent people from coming into Mistrala. Anyone can leave Mistrala anytime they want. Okay.
All right.
Just out of curiosity, guys, I want to run this by you real quick. I'm thinking for the actual defense of Haslin, we should have Deimos rally the West Vane army, and then also the surviving dwarves. And then if we can convince...
Aren't the surviving
this-
dwarves mostly, civilians?
Not
That
all
is
of them,
true.
obviously, but whatever ones are willing is the point. There's an army.
The dwarves are probably all willing.
I think the biggest issue is whether we are throwing people at an army that'll kill them dead, or whether we can figure out a strategy to meet them head on that won't kill everybody involved, where we are just feeding them our allies to the slaughter. So that is the one issue.
Renly,
I
since-
definitely don't want to do that, so that's why we're sending them there to do that. That'll be Deimos figuring out the specifics, but I'm just saying the allies we can pull to help West Vane are the
Mhm.
dwarves. And those are the only allies I can think of that can help West Vane as of right now. Because Mistrala still has to train its war mages, but as soon as its war mages are trained, they can send them down there.
They have
You
50,
can always
they
take
have 50 Magni.
the bard guy.
Mistrala has the Magnus program currently is limited to 52. 2 of them you guys killed, so there's 50 of them.
Ow.
They would have to
One.
train more. Telephos wants to expand
You
it,
only
but
killed one. Don't blame him.
yeah, Telephos
Telfos
killed the
killed
other one.
one, and yeah, we killed one.
I think are all the Magni needed to train new Magni, or can they actually spare some then?
They can spare some.
Okay. So we'll send them with Deimos. We'll send the ones that can spare with Deimos. Again, I'm not suggesting we offer up armies as just fodder while we figure out something to do. I think there should be actual strategy behind it. I'm just trying to make a big plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
As much as I would like to send Telephos with Deimos, I think he needs to remain here. So he should send whoever the next best strategists in the Magni are.
I asked Telephos what he wants to do.
Exactly. I'm like wondering what his
Telephos, do you want to stay behind the desk, or do you want to get out there and fight?
Well, there's strategy over here too. Like in Mistrala, we need to organize the peoples here to figure out what the hell
he's
we're
a
doing
fighter.
here.
He's
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm thinking. He might be more interested in Haslin in any case.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he leaves someone here he can trust and someone I can work with, that's fine by me too.
Telephos. All right, so he'll look at you, Riley. He'll say something to the effect of, there will be much. If West Vane is to stand, it will require more than just a few people. They will need support from a great many sources. Because if I go, it will delay and slow the process of training more Magni here in Mistrala. But I'm willing to go. If I stay here, then I can devote my full attention to the war effort and building up our forces here. So he'll basically ask you guys your opinion. I'll let you guys deploy him if you want to.
Well, it's obvious we all have different opinions, so.
Well, what do you guys think? I think he should stay.
I think you should go
No.
fight.
Elwin?
Whatever he
You
wants.
scream at the army and kill him.
He's a big boy. He can make up his mind wherever he thinks he's more useful.
Does he have somebody in training, like a protege or somebody who he trusts, who he's worked with, a younger individual
Eva?
who we can either keep here or send out to Haslin? Either way.
Let's send
Like,
Eva into a cave that might collapse again.
Yeah.
I mean, like if it was Ava, then Ava would probably stay in Mistrala. But then if there's someone else who might
No,
be able
Ava's
to work
his
with Deimos-
assistant. He has there are other Magni of
Yeah,
of
like
respectable
I
power.
was
Yeah.
considering like probably like a certain Magni who promising one who might be able to help either Haslin or Mistrala.
Sure.
So either way,
Sure.
and that would
Um,
make it easy to decide.
Okay.
Yeah,
It won't,
yeah.
it won't be Listriel, but it'll be someone who would be the equivalent of Telephos' like most trusted associate.
And like he can use the Sending Stone to communicate with them for nightly reports to figure out like if they need any other advice or strategizing.
Okay. All right. It'll be.
I can see the merits of him going, so I'm comfortable sending him with Deimos and Feldorn and Ashok.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
he is
what,
a very powerful offensive force.
what the hell? It'll be this guy.
Yes.
Oh!
Ferdinand is his name.
I like him. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell that
I
guy
think
that
that's
whenever
all-
he wants to learn more about sorcerer stuff, he can come to me.
For planning this week.
Okay. All right. So just
Again, I assume Darius said he would send some forces south to help if he felt like it wasn't a lost cause.
Darius is one of your allies. He's interested in defending the world. I mean, he's obviously most interested in protecting Erlin, but he recognizes that the most the best thing for his people might be to defeat a common foe, so that more allies can come help him defend his land when it's in peril.
Because I'm thinking an army of 3,000 Erlins might significantly help Westvane. So
That was what he brought with him. Erlen itself has a much larger army.
how many mages do we need to transport 3,000 people?
A shit ton.
I think we calculated it out. It could there's a lot in Mistrala. It could be done within a day of concentrated work.
It was definitely more than a day away from Westvane.
The
who's
army?
No,
doing
Oh,
it?
you don't know. For all you know, they could be assaulting the walls right now.
This week, I think we begin the transportation of Ospium's army, if Darius is willing, of course, to Westvane to help.
If it makes it
Um,
any faster, I can just open up a couple of teleportation circles to the keep and hassle. If no one
That'd be
knows it.
part of it.
Yeah, it'll be.
It would be
yeah,
all hands on
massive.
deck to get that many people down there.
Yeah.
We begin that. If Darius needs to go back to first to tell people what's going on, we can give him an intern to transportation.
Okay.
Otherwise, Elwyn and Euphemia can go after the dragons. Renly and I will start war planning, and Deimos, Feldorn, and Ashok will defend Haslin.
Okay. So, just so you guys know, there's a large army making its way towards Haslin. And Gromash is there, and he's called the marked ones to his side, and subdued them. Quigley was one of them. Just so you know.
Who
I-
is already very familiar with Darius and a lot of things that have already happened before.
But he's an idiot, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's good.
And you can just use color spray on him, and he just
Quigley's a
totally
very
doesn't know
simple
what to
person.
do.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. So it's gonna be it's a very powerful army on its way there.
I assume there's a no-kill order out on Quigley on Darius' side, and I will relay that to every single ally I can.
Okay.
Rennie is still very torn. She's not sure where she wants to go yet, so she'll figure it out over the week.
All right. You guys got to figure it
Here
out.
with me, but
She's had a lifelong interest in dragons, so there is that bit because, druid wild shape and shape change.
fair
Well,
enough.
you get a ride a dragon on the way.
Indeed.
Yeah, but I am definitely staying in Mistral. That's a given. So
I love the fact that we have sending stones that work like cell phones now, because that would be very useful for this. Oh, Tandesh goes to war.
I'm gonna send dick pics to everybody.
I'll send you the giant demon dong in return.
We already have one from Deimos in Discord chat. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Miss this. Hold on. Where is this?
Okay.
God.
It's there.
Remember
Alright.
that now.
So if you guys are going to be splitting up next week, we will go with that. Because there are story events that happen in both places, so
Okay.
just be ready for it. The
I mean, in all three places.
the war is going to be pretty fun.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
if you're seeing Mistrala, you'll, not much is going to be coming to you there because it's coming down to Haslin.
Well, I
Yeah,
still have a whole plan to make. I've got to write
Yeah.
that out so I can tell you next week how I plan to
Indeed.
do things.
All right. If you want
Remember,
to,
no-
when you get it, post it in Discord chat so everyone else can see it too.
Oh yeah, that'd
Remember,
be
no-
awesome.
Remember, no plan ever lasts beyond the first move.
Yeah, and we can
And
also
a first
chime in
move,
if
but
needed.
This is a giant first move.
Okay.
But thank you very much.
It was awesome.
All right. So next week, we're gonna have a fight.
All we were missing on the observation deck was popcorn.
Pretty much.
I know. It's funny because I didn't know who you guys were gonna ask for in the observation deck. That's pretty
You
cool.
didn't know what?
I didn't know who in the world you guys were gonna ask to see in the observation deck.
I know it's past my time, but I saw Archimedes with Killjack, right?
Yes.
Albrecht knows who Archimedes is, but
Yeah. There's a couple names that I'm surprised you didn't ask for, but we'll just leave it at that. All right. So I'll catch you guys next week.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
should have.
All
I'll have to
right.
talk to you. I'll have to talk with you later, Midas King, about what I've missed.
Yeah. There's like 20 sessions that you need to get caught up on. Kildrak, if you do put, Albrecht, if you do put together a plan, just post it in Discord chat. A link to it or something like that, so everyone else can see it as well.
I was going to write it down on a notebook paper, but I just might type it up in Word and then copy and paste everything into Discord chat.
Sure. Just so everyone else can see it, so you guys are on the same page going into next week.
All right, guys.
Of course, I would always ask group opinion of plans, so that way they can provide critiques at the time, and we don't have to do it as a long chat.
All right. Catch you guys next week.
See you next week.
See ya.
All right.